All right, what is up, guys? I'm here with Hanzo, who just won the most recent multi-day on 6 SAMs. I think that there were only 2 6 SAMs that entered, and they both almost topped, and Hanzo won. Um, Hanzo and I had planned to do a video together, and we wanted to do a replay analysis similar to some other videos that I had posted. So Hanzo joined the tournament and went ahead and won, so he got the most possible replays we could have gotten in a video. So I've been really excited about doing this video. Other people that have commented on some of my videos have been really excited for some samurai gameplay, and everyone loves your samurai decks and watching you play samurai, specifically Hanzo, because you play them in so many formats. So I've been really excited to do this video, and I really appreciate you having the time to do this with me, because I know we have the time zone difference. So this is gonna be fun. I tried playing samurais and it was very hard. I actually posted one recently you might have seen, and I played probably, you would probably say, pretty badly, getting Darkhold turn 1 and stuff like that. So I'm excited to learn a little bit about the deck, because I think it's a scary deck in this format and it's a lot of fun to play. So we're gonna jump into it. If there's anything you want to say. Yeah, go ahead.
You probably already know me as Six Samurai Enthusiast. I played this deck across all different formats. Like currently I'm on 9 different format tops with Six Samurai, and I think I've attempted in 11 already. So this year I want to get the 10th. Hopefully it will work.
Which format is that you're trying to pick up?
Which format I want to get the 10th in?
Yeah.
Probably some boomer format like Perfect Circle. That sounds like the easier one.
Isn't that before
Because format should be also doable. Hard format is a real challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, with the hands, it's kind of tough.
Yeah. I bring Six Samurai in Hot War League, and I ended up 3-3 with them in War League, so not the best run.
You're probably the only person playing them, though, in that format, I would guess.
There were attempts in past, but let's not talk about it.
Okay, cool. If there's anything else you want to talk about in terms of samurai across other formats?
Well, I'm quite open about what I'm playing with Samurai, and all my lists are across all servers, and I share theory and side deckings and stuff like that. So you can find pretty much everything if you look for it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before we hopped on this call. I was like, man, every time you enter these tournaments, you're actually at a disadvantage, because people know already probably what you're playing. And not just that, they know your main deck. It's not going to change too much, and they know your side deck. So it makes this win with Samurais even more impressive, because people aren't playing it. And then when you enter a tournament, they know you are playing it, and they can pull up your list, and you still kind of squished everyone.
Yeah, and not just list, even my side decking patterns are also somewhat transparent. I'm not trying to hide anything. I share Six Samurai theory with other players that might be interested in trying them, and I kind of think that it's not as much of a problem, because if you dig deeper into Six Samurai theory, all of the stuff that I'm basically working on was already developed back then, and I'm just rediscovering it and bringing it once again after all these years, but it was all already theory crafted. I'm really not coming up with something new most of the time.
Well, I mean, I will say, even if you say that you're using other lists as a starting point, I think that almost everyone does that when deck building. They start with a list that they know has done okay, and then you tweak the list. I mean, it becomes your list, I will say. I do think that you have to give yourself a little bit of credit when you, even if you started with somebody's list and you can say that it's an archetype that people are playing. I mean, I think that your deck is kind of unique, and now it's become the standard for people to start with your deck on Six Samurais. So I do think that you're being a little bit modest, because you kind of have developed. I mean, when people want to play Six Sams, I feel like they grab your list, to be fair.
Yeah, I know about 2 other players that won in REDU tournaments with Six Samurai, and both were basically playing my list with some little tweaks.
That's what I'm saying. So I do think you should give yourself a little bit more credit, but I feel you. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to be like, oh, I did this and that and blah, blah, blah. But I'm just saying this is a pretty impressive win. So I'm really excited to go through these replays.
Okay, before we jumped into this one, it was the first round and I played against Girgia, and before the tournament start, we exchanged some messages with Mate. You know, Mate, it's
Yes.
the Italian Six Samurai enthusiast.
Yes.
He's all over the retro servers, and he asked me what I'm going to play against in that day, because I was in multiple tournaments with Six Samurai, and I jokingly said, well, it's gonna be first round of REDU, so I'm gonna play against Girgia, and it ended up being Girgia.
Yeah, not a bad guess. And actually, I remember this replay because I've exchanged messages with this guy. He's a nice guy, and he actually had some side deck hate that you caught, if you remember. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he had the warrior elimination. Okay, so it looks like you lost dice to start, which is a bad start, but this hand looks very good. I mean, whenever you get your searchers and you open Heavy Storm going second, like this looks like a great hand. Because this is
going second. If I have Dark Hope, I mean, a Heavy Storm is perfectly fine.
Yeah, this is oh, and he doesn't even set. Okay, but you don't actually know what you're playing against. I know we joke.
No, it was kind of iffy because I didn't know I'm against Girgia now. So it could also be Chaos Dragons, and set card can be Raiko.
Yeah, that is scary actually. So I wonder, do you search your Keyzon with this Rhoda so that you can have an out I'm sorry, have your Shien survive a Raiko?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I'm not as bad on 6 Sams as I thought. Okay. Yeah, this is a conservative play in case of a Raiko because you don't even know what you're playing against. Yeah, this makes sense. And you attack with your Shien to get over a possible armor.
Yeah.
And because I guess it doesn't matter actually. Yeah, it's just to get over an armor.
And
then you
Wars isn't real when you are against Girgia.
Yep. Most decks in this format don't play Gores.
Yeah. The Pro Heavy might be kind of questionable. My theory was I want to invite my opponent to set some back row so I can then use it, but
I agree. I think set heavy was actually correct here. I love doing something like that because first of all, if you don't set any cards, you tell your opponent, go for it. Do whatever you want. You tell your opponent, if you have, like in this example, if he has an Axle in his hand, go ahead, make a Mace Stroke. Like, you're free to do whatever you want. I don't like setting nothing. I do like setting Heavy Storm, and just like you said, you invite your opponent to set back row. I've done the same thing, only it feels even better when you do it behind a Naturia Beast because they want to set their traps then, and there's no way to get, because technically if he has like 2 MSTs, he could get through this.
and even if he has multiple traps, you want to set them because you want to overwhelm the Shien with multiples, like, I don't know, activate something and then chain compulse and get rid of Shien.
Yep. I like set heavy here. Oh, he goes into the Black Rose. This is actually nasty. Yeah. You don't have an answer. Oh, so it makes the set heavy look bad. But this is such a rare situation. You're not typically going to get Black Rose from an empty board. I mean, to be fair.
Exactly.
So you got punished really hard there. And this is where samurais struggle. I feel like once your stuff gets cleared and you're down cards, it's so hard to get back unless you draw into like a United or something. So now you just say, I need to push. I want to end this game quick. I need to hit some damage, right?
I had to play into back row, but if there's no like finish chain, I'm perfectly fine because Enishi is now alive and he's basically compulsory.
I cheated just now and checked back row. I try not to do that. I'm just really interested because I like to play these or, watch these. And I haven't watched your replays in probably a week since we said we were going to do this video. I like to watch these and just play. Like, imagine I was in your seat to play. Oh, this is actually a misplay. If he's going to play the Call of the Haunted, he needs to do this on the end phase so that he can flip the armor on his turn. We're not going to critique other players. We're going to mostly focus on ourselves. But this is a misplay to not do this in the end phase, I will say.
Yeah, 100%.
He has a strategist anyways. This is nasty. This is very hard. Oh, but you have the Anishi. But Anishi...
Now I'm in perfect situation because I can simply compose armor back, and he can summon Accelerator because he's stuck with only Nishipachi on field.
Exactly. This is actually a really nasty situation. Anishi is just the coolest card, honestly. I think the card is so cool. Oh, that was actually illegal. This card is required to attack. I don't know if I told you, but I play a lot of Karakuri, so it's risky summoning this main one.
I didn't think about it at that point, but you're right.
This is mandatory effect. All the Karakuris have a ton of text, and their names are super long, so like no one reads them. Come on. But he is required to attack. All of his effects are mandatory. Yes. Kill him. I like this. So yeah, you were down cards after you got your Xian Black Rose, and then your game plan became, let me just kill this guy. And I completely agree. You just have to kind of go for it, because what cards can you really top deck to put yourself in a good situation? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And there will be more scenarios similar to this as we go, where I simply had to go for it, and it often worked.
That's a scary situation for me, because I think I've mentioned to you, and maybe if you've watched my videos, you've heard me say that I'm a generally pretty conservative player. I'm not saying I'm a bitch or anything, but like, I don't like putting myself in a situation where I just lose to a torrential, for example. So it's very scary having to play into situations like that, but I feel like you have to just play the odds. And in that situation, the best chance for you to win is to make the game end quickly.
Yeah, with Samurai, you kind of have to accept that you lose to multiple different stuff that opponent might have.
Yep.
But it's probably better to play this other way. There's also second school of thought of playing Six Samurai, to approach it like kind of protect the castle deck, but I don't like it. I prefer to end my games quickly, because Six Samurai is quite fast deck. Like even in 2014 Fire and Water format, I feel like my deck is one of the fastest in the game. So I want to win the game where I'm in an advantage, like during the first, let's say, 2 turns. Because I won't generate any material advantage as I go. So I want to end the game quickly.
Just a quick aside about the Fire Water format. Because like this is a redo video. I've mostly been posting redo stuff, but you know that I enjoy just Yu-Gi-Oh across many formats. And I know that you're the same way. So I love playing other formats for fun. I'm not as good in other formats because I don't have any reps, but I actually did recently join a Fire Water tournament, and that format seems really fun actually. And I noticed all of the good traps are limited or banned, so you can actually play so much more aggressively into back row in that format. Like the good lists are on like 6 traps, and it's like 1 bottomless, 1 solemn, 1 torrential, 1 compulse. You know what I mean? 3 fiendish.
The best unlimited trap there is Fiendish Chain.
Yes.
That can be answered by MST from hand, so it's perfectly fine format for aggressive decks. Here you have to kind of accept that if they have something like torrential, when you overextend, you're gonna lose it. But it is what it is.
The trap decks in this format play like 10 to 14 traps. In Firewater, it seems like it's more like 5 to 7. So and the Night Beam came in from the side. This card is awesome going second. Actually, back in the day when I played around this time, people were loving this card, but I haven't seen many people use it in this format, except for Six Sams, and actually I noticed Ricky on Heroes was playing Night Beam. I think the card is very cool. Very, very cool card.
Yeah, again, in deck that wants to be aggressive, like Bubble Beat or Six Samurai, it's perfect card, because you need to get rid of that Solemn Warning or Torrential so you can start summoning.
This is such a winning exchange for you. You had the Night Beam for the 1 trap, so he has no way to play it. And then you have the end phase MST when he sets 2, and now you know your Xian is getting through anything, because you have the 1 negate. See, he had the Compulse Fiendish. Yes, he was going to be able to clear your Xian. Not in the best way, because he's probably going to Compulse it to the extra deck, but still clear it nonetheless.
Yeah, exactly.
This is interesting. So actually, technically, you have a Barkion play here if you were to normal summon the Kagamusha, special the Kizan, but what's the need for Barkion when he only has one back row and you have a Shien up? I kind of get that. I think that Anishi is an interrupt on his turn, which is much more powerful.
Yeah, Anishi is compulsory, and compulsory is perceived as best step in the format by some players too.
And Compulse is awesome. Yeah, I'm one of those players. Compulse is really good.
If only there was a Gaga Cowboy in this format.
Oh yeah, that would be lethal right there. We haven't seen, because it came out in Abyss Rising. And here's the Warrior Elimination. This was crazy, dude. This was so crazy.
I was completely out of guard by this card. Here I wanted to get at least my Kizan back, so I have Barkion play in next turn, but...
Yeah, you have nothing now. You have nothing and he has an armor. Oh, and also, I'm trying not to make this take forever because, like I mentioned to you, some of my replay reviews are really slow. But earlier in the game, you had to attack into Gores, and really, that's just something that you have to accept. You can't play around Gores forever on this deck because you give them too many turns. And the thing is, like, you don't get your +1 negates with your... you rip Reborn. Look at you.
Yeah, now this is perfect situation. I have a graveyard for Anishi's effect, so I can simply attack with...
I see. And you just don't believe him about this back row. Oh, it's a needle ceiling. I don't think he should be siding this.
I believe in his back row being real.
Yeah. Wow. I don't agree with siding this against Samurais. Is this correct? You don't spam the board quite like that. I guess you do want to put 2 or 3 guys down, and he's going to have the set armor. I don't know. It seems a little weird against Samurais.
I guess if he had more dead cards, it makes sense to get Needle Ceiling. Like, it's still better than Bottomless, for example. So
yeah, the Bottomless wasn't going to do anything because your Shien plays, your opening Shien plays are going to be either a asceticism or a special elder normal Kagamusha, or it's going to be Kaigeki Kagamusha. So none of that plays into Bottomless. So Bottomless isn't actually going to be good against you. He should have been siding Blackhorns if he has them. But like I said,
exactly.
We can't control what our opponent does. We just have to focus on our side. I think you played this one perfectly. The Night Beam coming in from the side is nasty, nasty work. And then the Ripping Reborn is also extremely high skill, for sure. That was very, very professional.
Yeah, to win games you need to be lucky. So
yeah, I'm just joking. I think you played the cards that you had perfectly. This is another good hand. Oh, but you lost dice again. So you're 0-2 on the dice rolls. Or I'm sorry, rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, but this is second round. I knew I am against Gravekeepers.
Yep. So. I think that this deck is a scary deck in this format, actually. I lost a top 8 match to Gravekeepers. I don't think I played my best, but the deck can just be really, really hateful for a lot of the meta. I don't think that you're too bothered by it, though. How's the Gravekeeper matchup? It's probably fine.
Yeah, it's okay. I played against this guy and his Gravekeepers multiple times already in... what was it? 2011 Trishula format. And I like that matchup.
Yeah, it seems like a fine matchup because Gravekeeper's advantage is shutting down the graveyard for really, really dependent decks. Graveyard-dependent decks, but you're not. And you also have another...
Also,
go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not scared of Royal Tribute. I play less monsters than they do.
Yeah. All of the advantages of the Gravekeeper deck don't hurt you as much. Also, again, I don't want to take your whole Sunday, so I'm trying to not go too long because I can talk Yu-Gi-Oh! For hours, and I'll try not to kidnap you for too long. But just with this opening hand... you're like one piece away. You have the Smoke Signal, which is an incredibly powerful card. I mean, Rhoda's been limited forever, but Samurais get 2 of them, plus Rhoda. So this is a very powerful card. And you have the United and the Heavy. So you know as soon as you find any monster or an asceticism, you're about to take the board. And you have this warning down because there's 2 possible cards that they can set. It's Spy or it's Recruiter. Is that its name? Recruiter? The searcher?
Yeah.
And you are ready for the Spy with the warning, which is the best possible answer. So this hand, you can just play a slow game, and you know that you're just waiting to be in that winning position. And then you're going to plus with the United, you're going to be in a great position.
Exactly.
So I think, once again, you're playing this perfectly. So I don't have... Usually when I watch people's replays, I'm just like, oh man, they really should have done this. But I don't see anything. Like, I think that you're playing the cards that you draw perfectly. And there's your Rhoda. So Now the decision is, do I want to MST this back row and hold my heavy, or do I want to heavy and then have a chainable MST, right?
Heavy. I want to establish field dominance and have MST set. So heavy goes out now, and I then can have my own background.
Yep. And then you had the warning. This is the card that can answer a Xian, but you had 2 answers. I mean, you main deck 4 spell trap destruction. So, and then here you search the Elder. And now, why did you search Elder instead of a Kagemusha Kaigeki? Because now your asceticisms are going to be dead because you play 1 Elder, right?
Well, he can chain Maxi to.
Oh, you want inherent. I see.
But Elder is inherent summon.
I see. You want the inherent special summon. Okay, so you use your normal on this guy because you searched Elder rather than Kaigeki. There it is, the Magatama. Oh, these are great draws. Wow, so this makes the Heavy Storm look great.
Get rid of Spy as well as monster summoned by it, so perfect.
This is perfect, and the Magatama in the main deck I love. I think I told you that I was messing with a different Samurai list, and I was really... I told you I was playing a card list, and it wasn't playing Magatama, and I really miss Magatama. Because without Magatama, then your opponent is able to play cards like Heavy and Dark Hole that guarantee you're forced to use your Xian negate, but when you're holding Magatama, it's like you get that plus back because they have to play a card and they cannot guarantee that you're going to get they're going to get you to negate with Xian because you can stop a Dark Hole with Magatama, for example, or Heavy. Such a good card.
Yeah, exactly. There's one thing with Xian and Magatama. When summoning Xian, you are basically already investing 2 monsters to get 1. So you need to get that value somehow back. So you need to negate something with Xian, actually. And Magatama lets you more freely negate stuff that you wouldn't negate normally because you would be afraid of possible follow-up of, I don't know, as you say, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Mind Control, or something like that.
I completely agree. Yeah, Magatama is... and it's a counter trap, which means my opponent is not allowed to respond because everyone only plays 1 counter trap in their deck. So there's only 1 card they can have in response. And the probability of them having like a limited card like Dark Hole plus a limited card like Solemn Judgment is very, very low. You'll play those odds. You know what I mean? This is great. This is a great setup. And then
again, MST on 1 back row, so I can more easily handle it with Xian's negation.
Especially with a Magatama again. So why do we bring down the Kagemusha here? Is it so that you can use Kagemusha's effect so that he targets it?
Yeah, Kagemusha's effect can retarget on himself, so it's nice to bring it. Also, it's normal summon, so if I draw another normal summon next turn, I would struggle to bring it, so...
I mean...
to put it on field immediately.
He drew the best...
I know my opponent is on compulsory, possibly even Fiendish.
Oh, so it's great to have that effect lingering. He also drew the best... both of his best cards against you. He drew Double Warning, and you're playing through that. Double Warning is extremely hard to play through on this deck. Because that's the card Xian can't stop.
Perfectly fine with that.
What was that?
I'm perfectly fine with Necrowally being up right now because I just need to answer 1 normal summon and then I go for game.
Yep. The only thing that it stops there is if you draw into your double-edged or your Anishi, but you're not in a position where you need to stop that. You're in a winning position. Oh, and you start messing with the guy. This was funny. That was pretty funny, because actually I love the Necro Valley in your side deck. And then here comes the Iroh from the side to deal with the Gravekeeper Spy, I'm assuming.
Exactly.
So this says at the start of the damage step, so this is a perfect Girgi Armor answer as well, correct?
Yep.
And he warnings it.
Basically the monster didn't get to flip.
So he warnings it, so... He still has 1 more back row. I don't want to check it, but I'm guessing you're going to want to reborn it and special the keys on to try to get through a spy. Or are you going to hold your...
basically, he told me this way that it's spy because he wouldn't care if I wanted to destroy
Yep. I'm guessing that you're already assuming it's a spy if it's his first set, right? Because that's the card they're most interested in setting. Oh, he has the D prison. I was going to ask you, since generally when your opponent is setting two, one of them is going to be a summon stop on the first turn, and then the other one could be anything like a Compulse, Fiendish, MST. So I'm guessing you were hoping that this was an MST.
Yeah, and I'm generally a risk taker when it comes to this situation because I generally lose more games to being cautious than to being overly aggressive. So I'm trying to be more aggressive.
This is something that I tell myself a lot. Like, it's so easy to come up with to theorize about cards that you could lose to, but your opponent isn't going to have the perfect combination of cards. You have to play the odds. So I think that this was the most value you were going to get out of this IRO, and no one's playing Mirror Force, so the worst punish possible in this situation is a D prison. But what's more likely is an MST or a Fiendish or a Compulse, like you say. And if he goes Compulse, send back IRO, he's going neg. You know what I mean? It's a neg 1 if he uses the Compulse that way, and it's one less card that he can he can use on your Shein. So I think that was the correct play. And then you have the warning follow up for the spy flip. Right? This is a small ruling thing. I think that he's right, and you can duality here. Oh, and he is on Royal Tribute. That's interesting, because I don't know if he should even be playing Royal Tribute against you. I think that probably should be coming out. I guess he went first this game, but I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I'm going first. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah? Okay. And then this is going to be a Barkion. Let's go. I love the Naturia Synchros. These are so good.
I only searched for bottomless, so no need to Night Beam the Crow.
You'd rather just get your Barkion advantage. Well, Barkion gets turned off by Necro Valley, actually.
Yeah.
And then you pro set the Night Beam. You're just not fearing heavy right now?
It would be 2 for 2.
Yeah, it would be 2 for 2. He also went first this game, and he's on a heavy trap deck, so you don't know if he has heavy in. Because there's another Gravekeeper player that I played against. I watched his replays, and I noticed he doesn't play Reborn, he doesn't play Heavy Storm. I know not.
I wouldn't probably main Heavy Storm in Gravekeepers.
Yeah. He gets
decided basically just for going second.
Yep. This guy's super annoying. The recruiter. So he's taking the board, and you're kind of this is the position that I hate when I'm playing Samurais. It's like you're kind of just super low resources, and there's realistically no one card that can put you in a winning position. You need more than one card. Even a double-edged isn't enough because you need to get through the Necro Valley. A United isn't enough. A Kizan isn't enough. A Kaigeki isn't enough. You need 2 cards to come back, you know?
Yeah, there's no... Okay, this was stupid. I should have Night Beam.
This card here.
I knew about.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes with set cards you might forget what you have down, especially if you're setting a spell. And that's...
Yeah, I should have just sit on attack position Kizan and destroy bottomless before. No. And now I'm cooked.
You have to Mirror Force, which is the worst feeling. A -1 Mirror Force. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, that's why, most people that play Battle Traps play D Prison. I do like the Mirror Force, especially post-board where you're siding D-Fishers and things like that. And you really need, something like a Mirror Force to clear, wide boards that are going to swing in, but... Okay, now you use the Night Beam.
Yeah, if I was about to main deck Battle Trap, which I would rather not, it would be D Prison 100%. But from side deck, I want a card that has more blowout potential.
Yep.
That can bring more value. There's no point in siding 1-for-1 cards in.
Yeah, I think that D Prison would be better because I don't know the matchup spread for Samurais because I don't have that many reps on Samurais in this format, but I'm thinking that Chaos Dragons would be difficult, so you'd want a card like D Prison. So you're shelling up now, you're just hoping to draw into something. Oh, and you hate to see this. I mean, now he gets a +1 right there. So you're down a lot of cards. Ooh, and there's the Gateway. Now this is where Actually, no, you still need 2 cards. The gateway isn't enough. You need a normal summon and then another, like a Keyzon or something.
Yeah.
Oh, this sucks. Can't he? Is it only face-up cards? Oh, it's a face-up card, yeah. So you lose next turn. Yep, because he can change it. That card is really cool. What's that card's name? Assailant or something?
Yeah, Gatekeeper Assailant.
Yeah, that card's very cool. So yeah, you do like being able to shell up with the Kaigeki, but not into Assailant. Unfortunately, he had the 1 card, and you had just spells because this deck plays a lot of spells. This hand is crazy, crazy, crazy. Right? This hand is perfect. Are you gonna upstart first? Yeah, hoping to draw a Gateway or another United. Oh, but it's lacking protection. But hopefully this United will draw you into some protection. I feel like the obvious play is this right here. Now this.
No, he can get rid of Xian with entering cards just without investing some extra material. Basically, his only monster out to Xian is put up Necro Valley and summon Assailant, and I can negate that Necro Valley. So in that case, he need another Necro Valley.
The other card that he can get, it's not a clean out, but he also can, if he's able to bait your negate with Xian, he can play a Necro Valley and special summon a Malefic Stardust. That would be a little bit of an issue for you because it's 25.
Yeah, true, but again, he need to bait the negation,
yes,
and then it crashes.
Yep. And you have a Keyzon that's going to let it survive, so it crashes at a minus because it's not even going to clear the Xian. Also, you got your plus. This is so what you were saying earlier, where you synchro summon and you go negative. So neg, you need to negate to go plus again. This is the other way you can go plus. Your continuous spells get you that card back, and then your continuous spell drew you into another one with a Keyzon up, so you're going to go plus again, which is beautiful. But you only drew 2 traps off those 4 draws. I know you were hoping to draw like a warning or like a Magatama or something. Do you negate this? No, you don't. So were you considering negating the duality here? If you had Magatama, I bet you would.
Well, actually, I like not negating duality because it can ensure me that he can do any special summon.
A special, yeah.
And I know what he adds, so I can then play with some information. So the card he get isn't as much of problem, and wasting negates when he has 5 more cards is kind of
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I that makes sense about duality because there is a disadvantage to duality where you get information so you know what card you do need to negate, and he gets the downside of it where he can't special summon. So that makes sense to me. I'm just thinking like, you know, sometimes when I watch Six Samurai replays, I'm thinking when people are playing cards, it's like, sometimes you have to take that plus. You have to just take the negate and take your plus. You know what I mean? But probably not turn 1 with 6 cards to the opponent on the opponent's side, especially on a duality. I do like kind of aggressively negating. Oh, and he adds a Cyber Dragon. That's very strange. That's not going to help him much at all. Because it's going to...
so he basically got that card right now. So
yeah, that Cyber Dragon was not a good ad at all. Get some deck thinning. But yeah, this Elder is not going to do anything for you in your hand, unfortunately. Sets 3. You have no MST. Oh, this was very, very bad.
So now it's perfect time for negation
oh, yeah.
Because he set his cards, and basically the only punish I can think of is if his set card was Recruiter and he had pro set Dark Hole.
Yes. The only way that you get punished here is if he was faking you out and he set 3 and one of them was like a Dark Hole or something like that, just to try to bait a negate, but that would be next level. I think that this was just bad sequencing. He should not be setting before he activates a card, ever. Oh, and you have the Zanji. This gets through a Spy, and you know that Mirror Force is not commonly played in the format, and also you're probably going to hold your Xian negate for a Torrential Mirror Force, like a sweeper, right?
Exactly.
So this is a great position for you, and you drew a warning, which is excellent. You're forced to negate this, right?
Yep. I have to.
Because you'll never get another negate if you don't. This is fine. He actually doesn't go plus here. Oh, and you stop attacking. Is it because you're scared of a Mirror Force or something like that? Like a Deep Prison?
Yeah. basically, that's it. If he had Mirror Force, I would probably
But
end up in losing position. So,
but if he had
I'm not in a hurry. I am in pretty good situation. I have board dominance, and I don't need to attack at that point.
if he had a mirror force, he could have done the skill drain on attack declaration and mirror forced after the Sheehan negate, right? That would have been the better sequencing from him if he had mirror force with the skill drain.
Yeah, but do you want to risk it in that situation? I would rather not if I don't have to.
No, I am not like I am never like I need to kill my opponent next turn. I'm not or this turn. I'm not usually like that. When you have this many cards on your opponent, you're gonna win the slow game. I'm totally fine with the way that you played this. I'm more just asking like and the other thing is not to be like a jerk or anything, but when you're playing in round 1 or 2, you might not want to like overestimate your opponent where they might not be like if you're it's different if you're playing in like top 8 and you're like up against, for example, I think you played against Spore in the finals. I play differently when I'm playing against a stronger, like a player that I know is very strong like Spore, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know my opponent against whom I'm currently playing, and he's a pretty good player, but
Okay.
He's mainly DM and GX era player, so I don't know what translate to REDU and what not, so I don't want to make any estimation about what he can think of and what he might plan for.
So he's had these back row down for a while. So you already have gotten some reads on this back row, and you know that he does not have a torrential because you already summoned into these back row, and he should have torrentialed by now. So I think that's why you're probably comfortable doing something like a negate. Oh, did you not negate the MST?
I'm not sure actually.
I think that you did not negate the MST because I'm wondering, you must have a somewhat read on this back row. I guess if it was like a compulse or something, he would have been holding it anyways for after your Sheehan negate. But I guess you're thinking you don't need the plus with the United. But oh yeah, I didn't mean to mouse over it. But I was gonna say I'm not super concerned with this back row because I feel like you've played into it quite a bit at this point.
And I'm in winning position anyway, so I just put Shockmaster,
Wow.
say spells, and he can play.
He cannot do anything. Yeah, putting a shock. The fact that Sam's can go into Shockmaster is so nasty. I only really ever see this on a gateway turn. It's very weird to see this on a turn that you didn't gateway. This is actually like a huge investment.
Without gateway, it's so neck, so it doesn't happen often without it.
Yeah, I mean, this is checkmate though. Like, what can he do? You have 3 down, you call spells, and you have Sheehan, so that, I mean, we've already seen that this trap is not going to do anything. Let's see what he had. Oh, he had another skill drain. He has the Cyber Dragon you already knew about. And the Necro Valley, I think he searched with a Commandant. Yeah, so, yeah, this is just checkmate. I understand the Shockmaster here with all these back row. This is a nasty, nasty board, honestly. Yeah, this was a good game. Anything you want to add about this? I mean, I think that you played this very well into a heavy trap deck, which is a little bit tougher for you. Right? It's probably not...
Yeah, actually, like navigating plays against heavy trap decks. It's like kind of... it's more honest from this their side if they simply set their cards that I have to think about. And Gorse and Tragodia are much more problematic than Torrential, for example, because the set card can be torrential. I can think about it like it is torrential, but when the card is in hand,
you don't have any read on it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it is interesting. I actually also like playing against these heavy trap decks. Like, for example, I play some Tengu format, and there actually are popular, very, very high tier heavy trap decks. Like the Hero Beat deck in Tengu is actually very good in my opinion, and the same for the TG Stun deck. And I play a lot of fast synchro decks just like you. I play a lot of Karakuri. So playing into those back row decks is actually kind of rewarding. The only thing that's frustrating is like cards like Solemn Warning have very little counterplay unless you're going to play 7 tools, which I'm not opposed to. Like Bottomless and Compulse have more counterplay. But okay, so this round you're up against a strong player. He's topped these tournaments with different decks. I believe he's topped with Dino Rabbit and with Six Sam, or not Six Sam's, Heroes, I believe. Correct?
But he's also Six Samurai player.
Oh, is he?
There's popular OCG format. It's called Nexus format. It's based on March 2011 ban list. And me and Kyle are always playing the same Six Samurai list.
Wow.
We are teammates, actually.
I didn't know that.
So he knows Six Samurai really well. He played them in like 50 games, maybe.
Wow.
He's really well-rounded Six Samurai player, so he knows them super fine. And we are also teammates, so we are sharing ideas and stuff on our team Discord in upcoming REDU War League.
Oh, nice.
Same leader.
Nice. That's awesome. I didn't know that. I do really enjoy playing against my friends because it's more fun because we will talk openly about like different reads that we had after the game, and you end up learning a lot. I have some good friends that I've played a lot of Edison with, for example, and I have some friends that I play a lot of REDU with. But I hate getting paired against them in tournaments because then no matter what, you're sad that you lost or you're sad that your friend lost. So that's too bad that you guys got paired, but it's good to know Kyle because I've interacted with Kyle because he plays multiple formats like you said, and he's always very easy to schedule with, very chill. So it's too bad you guys got paired in a tournament, but that's cool. You guys are teaming up on Samurais for War League. That's starting up very soon. And then also on that topic, like you mentioned, he plays multiple decks. I feel like that makes you a much stronger player because now he's going up against Samurais and he knows the deck very well. You finally win dice here and you have the asceticism. Oh, this is awesome. Wow. I remember thinking your hand wasn't that great. Was the last card you drew that Kagamusha? Because I thought your hand was not that great, but you must have drawn Kagamusha as your last card because you were one card away.
The Shen piece.
Yep. This is perfect though. Now you have Shien set 4. Like, come on. Or you could even so actually there's an argument to making a Naturia beast here, isn't there?
No, Magatama would.
Oh, Magatama would be dead. Yes, you're right. You're right, because then if
this would be then easily answered by like compulsory or stuff like that.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Because if you made an Naturia beast, then on the following turn, if you try to double edge, he can torrential you right there, and then you're fried. Actually, no, you would have a Magatama, so he can't torrential you, but he would be able to warning.
He can compulsory my Naturia beast.
Yes, you're right. Okay, and you know you're playing against a hero deck because this is a multi-day, so you saw the replays. So Shien is correct, but with this double-edged, you could make an Naturia beast next turn safely, very safely. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay, so the only scary thing here is an Honest, but I don't know if they're all playing it.
Honest is okay. Super Poly is a problem.
Super Poly is a huge problem. Yeah, I've talked a lot with. I don't know if you've talked much with Silent G. But he plays a lot of heroes, and I've been talking a lot with him, or I was before the Ohio tournament, and I was like, man, I can't believe people aren't main decking Super Poly. The card is insane. Like, insane card in this hero deck. Oh, you draw the Gateway 1 turn too late. That's too bad. Well, actually, you have the double-edged, but it's only going to get 1 counter.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Okay, so he goes for the MST right here. So now you're probably thinking, I have to let this go because the gateway is not going to get you immediate advantage, but if this back row is like a gem spark, it kind of sucks. Oh, actually, no, because you have the Magatama.
Yeah, I forget that. Compulsory would be problem.
Yeah. So are you going to negate this? I'm thinking you have to let it go because this isn't getting you immediate.
I let it go, but I'm not sure.
Oh, you do negate it.
I negated it. I was greedy. I wanted to get some...
thing... Sorry, go ahead.
Because if he compels now my Shien, I will simply summon another and I will get then 4 counters on gateway.
True. Actually, even compulse isn't an issue. The thing that's nice about this is he doesn't know you have Magatama. So he is invited, if this is a Gemini spark, to try to spark your Shien. This is his chance, and he doesn't know you have a Magatama down, and he's going to go neg. So this is actually very interesting. I don't think there's any... I can't think of any card that punishes the negate on the MST. The only thing I can think of is if he has a Fiendish Chain, he could get the Fiendish off on your Xian, but you can still Book of Moon the Xian and then flip summon it if you wanted to, and then it's off the Xian. So there's really nothing that punishes you here if you negate the MST.
And again, I need to get some value from Xian, so negating something is, of course, good stuff.
Now, why do you not go Naturia Beast main 1 here? You go into the battle phase. Why is that?
If we get honest, I can use Xian's inbuilt protection and sacrifice one of these two, so that's why.
Yes, I was just thinking that right after I said it. I was like, oh, you know what? This plays around honest. So you're actually, the way that you're navigating this, you're playing around everything. That's why, like, sometimes when people review replays, they're just like, oh, I think that this was a misplay. But now having you on, you can explain everything, and it's like, no, actually, you were more in the zone during your match, and you had the better reads during your match, not us just sitting on the outside. He does the damage step. I always do this. I always ask people damage step, because technically you even have a Book of Moon, so you could technically Book of Moon if you believed him about the honest, but you're like, you got to show it to me. You know what I mean? Not gonna let you get in my head with asking for damage step. Now this is good game. This is over. Once the Naturia Beast comes up, it's over. With a Xian, yeah, this is over. Right? I mean, he needs Super Poly or die. Like, that's it. So that was a great game. That, I mean, putting Naturia Beast against E-Heroes is probably just going to win most of the time, right? Okay, so I'm guessing you're going to go into a Xian play here with your Kaigeki?
Yeah.
And you're hoping for a heavy storm off that upstart, something like that?
That would be nice.
Now this sucks having to do this into 2 back row, but you're up a game, so you're like, and you have the double edge backup. Double edge is great here. Are you on 2 double edge?
Yeah, and if he had, for example, Sun Warning, he would probably use it already on Kakeki to not give me draw of United. So basically, the only thing that he can have that might be problematic is Torrential.
He needs 2 cards though. Basically, he needs like Bottomless Torrential, something like that. Now you put why did you? Oh, yep. So I'm wondering, why did you put the Grandmaster down before going into a Xian? I feel like going Xian first is safer, because now is his last chance to use something like a Bottomless.
That's true, but also if he had, like, I don't know, Bottomless and Compulsory, he can use Bottomless to force Xian's negation. And then answer the Xian.
Oh, and then you don't get to bring down your Grandmaster, you're saying, because you won't have a 6 Sam on the field?
Well, actually, thinking about it, maybe, yeah, I could have sacrificed in that case. No, this is correct. If I summoned Xian and he had Bottomless and Compulsory, I would lose my Xian, and this way I am okay. I am just trading my Grandmaster for that Bottomless. I don't need Grandmaster once I establish Xian and have double edge stat, so...
Okay. I feel like I would have gone Xian first, but I see what you're saying. But the other thing about if he has Compulse, you have double edge, so Compulse doesn't get rid of the Xian permanently, so you're going to be able to summon it again. Unless you're saying he goes Compulse, you negate that, and then he Bottomlesses, and then it's banished. I don't know how he would sequence it, though, if he had those cards. So you go in with the Xian. Oh, and you brought in the Necro Valley hoping to stop a Miracle Fusion, but you don't play it because you want to resolve your double-edged.
Well, not just Miracle Fusion. When playing against Bubblebeat, they often have stuff like
Call the Haunted,
Warrior Returning Alive, Call of the Haunted, and stuff like that. So it counters like 10 cards in their deck, and that's quite a lot.
Yep. And another thing about this, you kept in the double edge while you sided in Necro Valley. I also agree with this. Like, people will ask me oftentimes, like, don't these cards conflict? And it's like, technically, yes, these cards conflict, but first of all, they're my cards, so I can sequence them the way that I choose to. Second of all, they're both so powerful, I'm not going to not play these 2 cards just because they're not gonna do well paired together. You know what I mean? I don't know how you feel about that, but like in Edison format, for example, I'll play Decree and I'll still play Traps, like in a deck like Fairies, because I think they're just so powerful.
Yeah, true. Also, stuff that Necro Valley is good against usually comes up a bit later in game. So I can do my first turn Xian, second turn use Double Edge, and then activate my Necro Valley, because the right time for Necro Valley isn't necessarily the first turn. They usually don't establish graveyard to use in first turn.
That's a good point. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Holding Necro Valley is quite good here. Now you MST one of these to try to be in the same situation where they only have one spell trap, so you get the Xian guaranteed negate. He chains MST, but you don't have to negate this because you can just chain your double-edged right now, and he only has one back row against Xian, which is never enough, right? Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
But this cannot make Naturia Beast. That's the thing, because this is a wind monster. So this has to be like a Catastor, which is okay. It's an okay card.
Yeah, and I'm going for game, so...
Now, you search the Kaigeki because, you can just normal Kaigeki special Zanji in that game, and he has one back row, and you know they don't play hand traps, so this is game over. Yep, this is game over. Yeah, that was a great sequence. Oh, yeah, Trap Stun, that's interesting. I wonder how good Trap Stun really is against you, because it's a spell speed 2 trap, so you can negate it. Most traps are. I don't know if Trap Stun's really that great against you. Do you agree with him?
Maybe he didn't have anything else to...
Yeah, I probably don't want the Trap Stun there. But yeah, look at his hand. Oh,
Trap Stun is okayish if you go second. If you go first.
Yeah.
If you go second, it's too slow for Samurai, but if you go first, it's okay.
Yeah. He had the Super Poly, actually, so that's really scary. Super Poly, I've seen people Super Poly Naturia Varkion and Xian into the Dragonic Draco Equest or whatever it's called, right? That's nasty work. That really cooks you. Oh, you win dice here?
The tournament that I played was Messenger of Peace Monthly, and
it was Ricky, right? Yeah.
Of the guy that plays Hybrid Heroes. And there was me and another 6 Samurai player, and we both on stream fell into same trap.
Oh my god.
We get our Xian and Barkeon Super Poly.
Oh my god. That is game over. if they Super Poly your, because Super Poly is quote unquote neg, because it's a card on its own, it's a discard. And then generally you have to synchro or fusion your own monster, but in this case you don't. So he used 2 cards to get rid of 2 cards of yours, but both of those cards took 2 cards. So he used 2 cards to get rid of 4 cards of yours, and he ends up with this, like, I don't even know what the monster's effect is, but it has like 3,000 attack, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it has more actually than 3,000.
Like 3,200 or something.
3,003 or something like that.
Yeah, so it is game over when he does that to you. So, round 4, you're up against Kevin Heng. This is a very strong Insector player. I've played against Kevin Heng, and it was very frustrating because I was on windups, and he had like 3 Max Cs and 2, and one, I think he had 2 or 3 Max Cs against me and a Veiler, and I was just like, dude, I want to go home. This sucks. Like, I cannot play into all these hand traps. Scary. What was that?
Yeah, this guy is quite scary. I had a lot of respect before this.
He's a very smart player, I will say. He's always on Insectors, and I appreciate that. I don't know if you've noticed, but on the REDU server, people are really, when, like, for example, with Kevin Heng, he's a big Insector enthusiast. He's always very happy to share advice on Insectors. So I like seeing that kind of stuff for when people want to come in and play the deck, similar to how you guide people who want to play 6 Sams. So you get the Rhoda.
I also like this anime vibe, like when there are players that has certain deck that they always bring to tournaments, so you know that they are Insector guy, or Carol White is always the Chaos Dragon guy and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's very good on Insectors. I have to admit, he's quite good. I've seen. Yep, there's the hand traps. I'm telling you, dude, he's always got the hand traps. This is not as play. This is the first Veiler we've seen this tournament, right? And it's sad. This is one of the only cards he can Veiler. The other card he can Veiler is actually Shien when you go to negate a spell trap, which is very good. And he has the Centipede. Now you have a bottomless, don't you? Are you thinking about bottomlessing here?
Yeah, I think I bottomless here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I think that this is correct because there's not a whole lot of cards you can bottomless in this deck. If he had the Dragonfly...
Now I get back the tempo, so I can go Shen next turn, and he basically just wasted his Veiler.
And you have Compulse. Now, the traps that you play are not that good against him. Bottomless, there's not that many cards you can bottomless. Compulse is not that good. So it's great to get some value out of these traps because you're not going to get much later. He sends the Hornet. So he must have another Insector in his hand, and he's hoping to get it down next turn. But that was a great exchange for you. Foolish is technically a -1 for him, and the bottomless trade is great. It's not a real minus, I will say. Oh, and you have the Keyzons in hand. Yep, here we go. So you're thinking push damage? Now, this deck plays Gores. Insectors play Gores, so that's a little scary for me. But you have the Compulse. So if you just attack with your Keyzons, you can Shien over the token, and then you have the Compulse at least for the Gores. So I'm guessing you'll just attack with 2. What do you do here?
I think that's what happened.
Is that what you're thinking, though? That you can have at least the Compulse for the token, and then the... Oh, and he does have the Gores, wow. Yeah, this deck plays...
He did reiterate that this was the play, and maybe I would actually be greedy and attack with Shen also, but this way he made it easier.
Yep, yeah. Well, he has to right there, because these are both 21... Oh, but he technically could have... Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess it would be pretty greedy, because he'd have to take an extra 4,600 if he wants to get the big token. Now, the fact that he Foolish last turn is probably telling you that he has another Insector in hand, right?
Yeah. And I'm okay with him attacking over me. I don't need to compose his Gores. I can simply
move off the Keyzon.
None of my Keyzons.
Now, if he has an Insector in hand, I think he should have summoned it because he has a Hornet engraved, so he can because if he does, he can clear one of your Keyzons with the Hornet effect, and then it still won't clear your... Yeah, I guess it wouldn't clear your Shien anyways because you have 2 Keyzons up. It would just clear an extra Keyzon. But no, it looks like he had back row he wanted to set. Now, when he sets 2 here, oftentimes in my head, I'm thinking he's lying. He didn't have these before, but actually he probably wasn't setting because he wanted to drop Gores. So these might be real back row.
Yeah.
But you get to put down your Anishi here, and you have the asceticism, so... Let me think. Okay, so you asceticism first. So you're gonna get a what is his name? The yellow one, the light monster, Zanji, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, because this can clear the Gores on its own. You don't even need the Inishi. Is that what you're gonna do?
I think I did go into Excalibur.
So this Zanji is going to get killed on the end phase, so you're probably thinking I'll just Excalibur over this Gores because I need to get this off the field anyways.
Yeah, I was thinking about it at this point. You can see I did attack boost and then I got it back because I've opted for XYZ play.
Now, you doing this is not lethal because this is 13... plus 17 is 3,000, plus 25 is 55. So this is not game. But had you not done this, I think the Zanji kills the Gores, and then you have...
It's actually a possible game. I can simply go into battle phase,
Anishi.
Anishi's
Yes.
to bounce Gores, and then attack with my monsters into clear board. Which
I see.
I didn't do, but it was a mistake from my side. I should have.
I see. Yeah, I agree. You should have. So you negate the Call of the Haunted because you don't want to deal with the Gores.
Yeah.
And then he has...
Again, I could have simply let the Call of the Hunted resolve and then bounce Gors,
and it's
I
dead.
would still be able to go for game because that Call of the Hunted would block
Yes.
his Gors from going back to field. So I misplayed here, but
Yes.
it ended up not mattering.
Also, well, it's really nice when you know all their cards. Also, this Fiendish Chain should have been on the Xian. What is this? Right? Why is this Fiendish Chain on the Anishi? I think that's strange.
He wanted to stop that compulse, possibly for his next turn. I don't know.
He has a Gigamantis. This is over. I don't think he should have Fiendished the Anishi though. I think he needs to Fiendish the Xian. Yep. Cool. Yeah, I think that there was some slight misplays, but I think you're in a winning position regardless there. Oh, macro comes in. Okay, this is nasty. This is so good against their deck because they're similar to windups where they're able to side. They're able to play under Dimensional Fisher because their Insector monsters are actually spell cards when they're equipped.
Yeah, but they can't play under macro.
This is incorrect to normal summon your card before duality, but we're not here to critique over there. I guess there's no normal summon that he's going to draw that he would prefer over a turn 1 card, but I don't agree with normal summon. Oh, and he sides in the Messenger. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, your hand is very weird because you don't have a monster. Yeah, and you still don't have a monster. So now what do you do here? I mean, you need to get your Solemn Warning down. You're also scared if he snipes like end phase warning on your with an MST. So what do you do here?
I think I went all in and set like 4 cards. Yeah.
Interesting. This is scary, but technically Heavy Storm is not a plus. Or, I'm sorry, it's just a +1, which but you have to allow Heavy Storm to be a +1 because if not, he can just MST. You know what I mean? MST's at 3. So Heavy Storm is a +1. He went first this game, but he probably still has Heavy Storm in. And the other thing is, with a card like Macrocosmos, if you don't get it down early, it's the same thing as like if you play, I don't know if you play Edison format, but if you don't get a card like Royal Oppression down early, you lose the advantage of the card. So you need your Macrocosmos down early, and you need your warnings down. So I think that this is fine to set a lot here.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that if I use warning on monster, it will get banished.
Yep. I like this, honestly. So it looks like he doesn't have a very fast hand either, so this is going to be a slow game. I actually like slow games. Oh, and this sucks. When you draw that heavy after you set everything, it always happens, dude.
Okay. We don't see our opponent's hand right now, but I think he, at this point, has heavy too.
Should we check?
So we are both having heavy in hand.
Oh, he doesn't.
Okay, so he will top deck it next turn, but I know we both had heavy in our hand, and it was weird.
Yeah, but these are actually really fun versions of the game. Like most of the replays we've reviewed so far, very, very fast games, but it's not enough to just be a good combo player, for example, where you know how to make your offensive pushes. I think being able to manage your trap cards is an extremely important part of Yu-Gi-Oh! That some people miss out on because they just played decks like Chaos Dragons, for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're still not quite there because this United you're not going to use this United as an upstart. You have a Heavy Storm and a United. So my mentality in this situation is I am gathering resources to make an offensive push. I want to get value out of my trap cards now so that my Heavy Storm is even better later and I can make a play later.
Exactly. I think that this is the kind of situation where here's the...
That's so funny.
Will overextend first, will be punished.
That is so funny. Now, this is such a cool stalemate. He doesn't know you have Heavy Storm, though. So you're at an advantage because he dualitied for his cards. But you just hard drew your cards, so he doesn't know what you have. But now, he just told you, I have Heavy Storm, so you're thinking, I need to use my trap cards when I have the opportunity. And you draw a double edge, which is awkward under macro. So you're just thinking he can play his Heavy Storm and go -1 with it. Or he can play into my back row and give my trap cards advantage. Okay. He sends the messenger. Now, I don't know if you've watched too many of my wind-up videos, but I am a huge proponent of do not send your own messenger. Your opponent has to deal with that card. Why give it to him? You know what I mean? Even if he's going to heavy storm, your messenger will go from the heavy storm. Like, don't give your opponent the messenger for free. I don't like that.
Yeah, I agree.
He flip summons the centipede. Now, I wonder if you're thinking, let me get my warning off.
Yeah, I want it because now
It banishes it. Yeah, turns off a call to haunted.
Won't be problem then later. So
also, if he had, for example, an MST for this macro, then he gets a Hornet off. You know, you're in trouble. Hornet's limited though, so he has another centipede. Now this is really strange to me. He's playing into your back row when he has heavy storm in hand. He's giving your back row advantage. Value, I mean, and then he solemn judgments.
and now this is perfect because I can get value of my
Last card. Yes.
active card.
Wow.
Then I can heavy without losing any material.
Okay.
Except of macro, of course.
I know we said this is not to critique the opponent, but this is important to just as a learning exercise. He gave you so much advantage with heavy storm in hand, and each time he plays into your back row, the value of his heavy storm goes down. I really think that he played this badly into your heavy storm. I'm not gonna with heavy storm into your back row. I'm not gonna lie. And then he heavies. This doesn't make any sense, man. And your MST is such a punish. Yeah, I think that this is some bad.
He wanted to get his Insector monster to the graveyard.
Yeah.
By using that heavy, but
look at the outcome.
perfect punish for the situation.
He's, you know, one of the cards in his hand is a heavy storm also. Like, this is not. And now, is this Zecticaliber? It doesn't have any targets, just the centipede if it goes to the graveyard. So you got so much advantage. Oh, and if you heavy now, he doesn't even get anything from the Zecticaliber.
Exactly. That's what happened.
Wow. Oh my goodness. You got so much value. And now you drew the smoke signal. So, oh, how did he? Oh, because the centipede effect triggers. Okay. So I wonder if you Book of Moon there, then he doesn't get anything. I wonder if Book of Moon is even better there. Because then the centipede is face down, so it's not going to be able to resolve, right?
Maybe, but I like keeping Book of Moon as defensive card.
Because it's your only piece of protection. I get that.
Yeah. Now I had to play into Maxi, sadly, so all the advantage that I've managed to get.
Yep, it sucks. But there's no way to avoid it. Because if you searched Kaigeki, he can chain Maxi to the Kaigeki effect. If you search Elder, he knows you're going to play into it. So the only option you have is if you wait a turn, which is, again, no option at all, because you know he has Heavy Storm, and you're at 1600, so you're forced to play into this.
No, he doesn't have Heavy Storm.
He used it, that's right. But still, I mean, lone set Book of Moon
is quite weak protection.
Yeah. You can't risk dying.
And although I get one draw from United, so it's not super hack.
Mm-hmm. So now, are you thinking I want to get one more trap card with this United, or I can hold one turn because my double edge will give me another summon and then I'll get a +1?
Yeah, I have quite strong protection at this point.
Yes, you have Book and Compulse. Yeah. And also another piece of... Now, this is something that I think I've seen Six Samurai players make mistakes with. This double-edged actually can be used as a protection for your Shien, so that you can double-edged on their turn and use Shien's protection effect to destroy the other monster. That's something I don't see people do enough, actually.
Now I wanted to... Yeah.
Yep, there you go. And there's going to be a keys on.
I can go simply Excalibur for game.
Yep.
Because I can compose the monster that's set.
Yep.
Which I...
Oh, you don't do it.
Right now, why I didn't go for it.
Yeah, that's guaranteed game.
I thought for some reason that I was at this point thinking about the line I will take, and then I misplayed here.
But that's okay. We catch those things in replay.
Use Enishi in battle phase in case he had Gors. Because I can use Enishi and Compulse on Gors and Token. But I would need material in Graveyard, which I didn't have.
Yeah, because you've had macro up and no monsters. Yeah, interesting. I do think that this is some slight missequencing, but that just happens.
But the situation was winning anyway, so...
Oh, and he does have the Gores. I like when people do this.
I expected Gors. But the idea was that I will... Yeah, but I didn't have material for it, and we talk about it right now, so... I would normally, if the game continued, stop here, make Naturia Beast, and head book for his monster and Xian's effect, and you can show my opponent's hand. He basically didn't have play around.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
He has nothing. Because
it was game anyway at this point.
This is game, yeah. This is game multiple ways, because honestly... I think that it's a mistake to go to battle phase. You should have either synchroed into an Naturia Beast with this, so that your Inishi can just bounce a Gors token, and your Compulse bounces the Gors itself, or you overlay into Excalibur, and then it's guaranteed game if he doesn't Veiler the Excalibur, because you can Compulse his set monster, and then just attack with Excalibur. So this is game multiple ways, in my opinion, and even with this like slight missequence on your part, you can synchro into Naturia Beast, and the game is over also. Right? I mean, you have Naturia Beast, Xian, and an Inishi up with a Kizan. Like, this game is over. I think you guys are discussing this, but he loses. Like, just to be honest, this game is over. But yeah, slight missequencing. But another... Man, you're 4-0 at this point?
Yeah, I was 4-0 at this point.
And, you're playing against... I really like this guy. I actually played against him in a single day tournament, and I apologized to him profusely, because my luckiest match I can think of, like in any memory, in any format, was my tournament match against this guy. I Magician Sharked him both games with Factory Up and Reborn. Like, it was crazy. I just had incredible draws against him, and I was like, and we were both undefeated, like round 6 or something, and I was like, oh my god, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, this is bullshit. He plays Chaos Dragons. Right? So, I'm pretty sure he's on Chaos Dragons, right? I don't want to check the hands, but... Yeah. So this looks like a first turn Xian, right? With a warning. But Chaos Dragons is a scary matchup, especially game 1 when you don't have the D Fisher and the Necro Valley. Oh, yep, for sure. Oh my god, every time. I think we've talked about this. Yeah.
It's like such a...
Yes.
Like,
this is a +1. Like, this is a +1 hard +1.
Yeah. As Chaos Dragon player, you should never use Solar Charge into Xian. Bait negation first. If he had, I don't know, Dark Hole, Mystical Space Typhoon on my Solemn Warning, he would this way bait my negation.
Wow.
Then he could use it.
He has Dark Hole. Wow.
Yeah. This was a really bad sequence. He could use Dark Hole first and then this.
This is actually a +2, so it's a +1 when you Solemn Judgment this, because you use the Solemn Judgment. But with a Xian effect, it's actually a +2, because you used 0 cards and he used 2. But to that point, though, he's now free to Dark Hole you. So if you don't have a Magatama, then he's looking good. Yeah, but still, look at the position. He's down a card.
I would rather do it the other way.
Yes, because you want to get your grave set up. I mean, he has a Dark Armed in his hand, so he needs to get stuff to the grave. But at least he can normal summon the Sangan now. But were you thinking about warning this? No, you kind of have to save your warning for things like Red MD.
Sangan.
So you get into the asceticism, but you have the Reborn too. Your asceticism. Yeah. Oh, so actually you can go Reborn Xian, Kaigeki effect, special the Zanji, and asceticism and Inishi if you want, and you have a warning down. So is that game if you do that through Gors?
Yeah, at this point I had game through Gors, but I was kind of blinded by pro play that I wanted to do that I will show you later.
Because I think that if you asceticism and get Inishi, you can
Yeah, Enishi would be 21, and I can
22.
Oh, sorry, Enishi would be 22, and I can use Enishi's effect to bounce
And you have the warning. Yeah, this is game.
again, so I would have clear way for 4 monsters attacks.
Yeah, he needs literally last card Gores plus Trag, or else this is game over if you go asceticism. Yeah, I probably would asceticism here, but it's easier.
I should have.
Yeah.
It was a mistake from me.
Yes.
From my side, but
Yes. Not a criticism. I just like catching these things to learn.
yeah, and I wanted to do this play because it's Pearl Samurai play setting asceticism and having Takeki up, so
Yes.
I can
Inishi on his turn.
it into Enishi on opponent's turn.
I love when people say this to me, take your time, because I hate feeling rushed in my matches, so this is very nice of you to keep this very friendly. Now, he overlays into Leviathan. This usually threatens Shien, but first of all, you have the asceticism for an Inishi, and second of all, if he tries crashing, you can clear something else, but then you don't have a good way through it. So I wonder if you're thinking about trying to bounce this with Inishi.
Yeah, I did it because, if I'm not mistaken, that monster he summoned with Tour Guide, it would then get rid of one of my monsters in my graveyard.
Yes,
so
Torbus.
Nish's effect would be dead anyway, so better use it now.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Very good point. Oh, and he goes straight into the Red MD, but you can chain a Nishi effect to bounce the Red MD, or you can warning the Red MD. You don't necessarily need to chain the Inishi effect right now because the Torbus will bounce one back, but on your turn, this Inishi will stay, and the Kaigeki will go to graveyard, so you'll have two. But this is a tempting time to warning. So what do you think you end up doing here?
I think I used Enishi, but I'm not sure.
Because this is your opportunity to use the Inishi, and then it's hard. Yeah, it's hard for him to bring the Red MD back down. So you take your Inishi value now. That makes sense. Now he's in a really tough position. He's all, ooh, he has the Dark Art. Oh my god! But you have warning. You have warning, fortunately. If you don't have warning, oh my goodness, you're cooked right here. The last card he can have is one of the cards is Red MD. He needs like a BLS. Oh wow, he does actually have a Chaos Monster. It's a Light Pulsar. This is less scary because you have Zanji and Anishi.
Yeah, now I am in perfectly fine situation.
Well, actually,
I have out for it in my next turn.
He has the Red MD, but it's not enough because he only is going to be able to put one card up, and you have both of these cards which can clear. Both of these cards threaten clearing a monster.
Yeah, and he can get rid actually of Zanji because Zanji has built-in protection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is checkmate for him. He can't get through this. Yeah. This was well played. He can't get through this. Yep. That was actually very well played. I like taking the Inishi value while you have it there. You know what I mean? Like, same idea that I was talking about earlier where you just want to get your Shien value on the negate. Just take the value when you have it, you know? And then the Necro Valley comes in.
I remember here I misplayed in turn 1.
Okay. So here, if I'm going to guess, I'm thinking that you want to get your Iroh effect off on this, but then you can't, I guess you don't want to put a Shien down because the Raiko will clear your Shien. Because if you were to go like Elder plus Kagamusha, you'd have to... Oh, but you have the Grandmaster. So what do you think is the correct play here?
Yeah, well, there are two options. One is to go Iroh and summon Grandmaster and use Iroh's effect to get rid of probably Raiko and destroy it without flipping. And other way, which I probably like more, and I thought about it at that point, and I was thinking about both these lines, and I ended up doing like mishmash of both, but it did, and was punished for it. Yeah, I went for Elder, which is right. I should have go for Shien here and special summon Grandmaster, destroy the Raiko, sacrifice Grandmaster, and I would have Shien with Necro Valley up and backed by Solemn Warning.
Yeah, that would be really good. So you're saying the correct play, but you can't get you can't get a Shien up with an Iroh down. If you're going to get a Shien, you need to use your normal summon on the Kagamusha, so you wouldn't have an Iroh down for this Raikou. I actually feel like the better play is to just normal summon Iroh, special summon Grandmaster, clear this Raikou. You don't think so?
No, I would have Xian and Grandmaster when attacking Raikou, so I would end up with Xian on board, because Xian would sacrifice himself to... Grandmaster would be sacrificed to protect Xian, so I would end up with Xian up, Necro Valley up, and Xian would be also backed by Swan Warding. That's almost checkmate.
Yeah, because with a Necro Valley up, they can't summon any of their inherent special summons, so the Raikou Mill loses value. But if they have Spell Trap Destruction and get the Necro Valley off board, then Xian is kind of shaky against Chaos Dragons because they have so many big dragons. Oh, and he goes, this is great. I love forcing them to burn a card. I do think this is super awkward to put the Elder next to the Iroh, though. Because this Elder is going to lose value, because it's just going to get cleared. Yeah. Oh, wow. He decides to kill the Elder. I wonder if he was scared of an asceticism, but I would have asceticismed first. So I think the Raikou clear the Elder is a bit weird. I would have cleared the Iroh.
But if he doesn't have another Raikou, that Iroh is basically dead card for the upcoming turns.
And here he, yeah, I guess. He Torbusses back your, Elder, so that's actually a mistake, because these decks typically play one Elder. Oh, you tell him also that I don't know about the Torbus, the Elder back. Okay, this board is a bit awkward, because you get hurt by Heavy Storm here, but you want to get your Necro Valley down with some value. The Tragodia is bigger than your field. This is a very shaky board, I would say, for you. It's not ideal. And then you can't stop an MST on the Necro Valley. Yeah, this is a bit... Oh, and he has the Lila. You probably have to warning the Lila. You don't have to, I guess. But then you let him mill. I'd probably warning it. Oh, but he also summoned... He summoned and let his Tragodia get smaller. That's very risky. He's probably got a level 4 to pitch, or a level 5 to take one of your monsters. Goes copy 6, special... Interesting. This game actually gets very... Oh, and he has a reborn. This is so interesting. Oh, man. So he's probably going to go for an Atum here. Overlay Atum special Red MD. Oh, if he goes overlay Atum special Red MD, he can technically go into a level 10 XYZ. I forget what it's called. Dreadnought, Super Dreadnought or something. You're in a bad position here, I will say. Gets a Red MD. Red MD can get back the Pulsar. Yeah. This Trag was already made a level 6, so he could go into a Photon Strike Balancer here too. But then his Pulsar isn't in Grave, so he's getting cooked by a Dark Hole. I wonder what he does here. I agree with this. This probably should be a Photon Strike Balancer. He just leaves his Trag. So what did his Trag even do? What was the point of dropping the Trag here? This is actually... Well, this is hard for you to get through, but... And even Dark Hole isn't that good because he left his Pulsar up.
I don't play Dark Hole.
What'd you say?
I don't play Dark Hole.
Oh, we haven't talked about that. That's very interesting. So you don't play it anywhere, or you don't main it?
I don't play it even inside. Six Samurai is not the deck for Dark Hole.
Because you don't want to clear your own board. You want to just establish the board. It's good in spots like this, but you're probably generally just going to be holding it a lot. Interesting. So do you play any spot removal, or you just rely on your monsters as removal?
I have 2 Mirror Forces inside deck.
Interesting. Now you have a Xian play, but Xian's not looking too good here. You might... Catastor doesn't look that good. I guess if you... Actually...
Catastor is fine in this situation,
yes,
actually.
You can Catastor clear this Pulsar when there's nothing in Grave. This Atom is gone, so... But he still has the red MD that can recur the Pulsar. So technically, if you go Catastor here and you clear this Pulsar on his turn, what he can do is he's at 59. He can red MD special back the Pulsar, and then he can crash red MD into your Catastor, take 2200 damage, crash Pulsar into your Catastor, special back the red MD with its attack, and then clear your Catastor. I wonder if he does that. Now you clear the red MD. Why did you clear the red MD? You don't want him taking back stuff?
Yeah, I think it was the right play because at this point, nothing on his board.
Oh my god.
Spike Buster.
Oh my god, he rips the BLS. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Wow. BLS is, yeah, crazy card. Okay, so it looks like you do bring in the Mirror Forces, probably because it's really good, especially with a Dimensional Fissure or Necro Valley up.
Yeah.
Now you're probably going to upstart, try to get a continuous spell. This is still a good board. This is going to end up being a good board. Now, are you going to Asceticism to get an Anishi as well? Because you can go Shien Anishi Grandmaster with Mirror Force and Judgment here.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Yep. Yeah, this is a strong board. This is a very strong board. He did it again.
And again.
Wow, that is so dangerous. And you have the Judgment down this time, so even if he Dark Holes, I mean, you have Judgment down. I always negate this recharge here. I can't believe and he had the Dark Hole again. But it doesn't matter. Now look at the position. 3 cards to mirror to protection and a live Anishi and a Shien and a Grandmaster. This is an excellent position for you. He has the Tour Guide, which is very good, but what does it do against an Anishi? Anishi's the perfect answer. He needs like even Dark Arm isn't enough. He needs like BLS, but you still have the Mirror Force. I don't know. He's in a bad position. You can do it in battle. Ooh, he does have a Chaos Monster, but it's a Dark Flare. This is going to get Mirror Forced, I think. I think this is about to get Mirror Forced. Yeah. Yeah, this is an amazing position. Now you have an Anishi, even if last card is Gores, but he's down to 1 card, and you drew the Necro Valley. It turns off most draws. What did he have? Double Pulsar? Yeah. That was a great ending sequence for you. So now we're up to, what, 5-0?
Yeah, I think so.
5-0, I think. It's a 7-round tournament, so being 5-0, you're almost guaranteed to top, even if you lose the last 2 rounds, because you're going to have the best tiebreakers, I think. So you go up against Nag Z. Now, you know he's on like a skill drain hero beat deck, right?
Yeah, we were the last undefeated players at this stage of the tournament.
Yes. So you guys have a lot of film on each other, because you can see all... Oh, imagine you went first. I guess it's not that great because you don't have access to a Shien, but you have everything else. I mean, I don't even want to try to figure out all the stuff you can do because you don't know what you're going to draw with the Uniteds. You can also take Bushido counters off the United for your Gateway if you choose to.
Yeah.
If you went first, you're in a... Oh, when you snipe the Torrential, that's got to feel good. But he might have a warning. He also set 3, so are you thinking he has a Judgment down, or are you thinking he took the chance?
I think he had to take the chance because against 6 Samurai, you desperately need to stop their initial play.
Oh, a Book of Moon on the asceticism sucks so bad. It's really tough. So you only have one piece of protection.
Work like Black Whirlwind, it needs to check the attack value, so when you book the monster, it can no longer check the attack. So
Book of Oh, and he has the Heavy Storm. This is over. Man, that's so tough. It's interesting he had the Heavy Storm and he still set 3. But man, wow, that's very, very tough. If you go first there, it's much better. Much, much better. But it happens, you know? And he didn't have the Heavy Storm and he did. This is still this is not that great of a hand. You're probably going to just pray that you draw into an asceticism off the United, if I had to guess. Or are you going to hold your cards? I'm guessing you go.
I went for draw. I like using my United as soon as possible.
Yeah, you don't want to play into back row with this. So you're just hoping to draw an asceticism here, right? To get a Xian off. You don't, but this is still an okay position because Grandmaster's good, but you're probably going to lose this Kagamusha. Ooh, hold on a second. You went set 5 raw. This is very, very bold. No Magatama, no Judgment, no Starlight Road. I know you don't play Starlight Road. Wow.
If he had heavy at this point, so if I set, like, let's say, 2 cards, and he had heavy, I would lose anyway. So
True. Yeah, that's something I think people don't think about enough is like like I said, I'm very conservative, so I don't generally set without protection, but as the game advances, first of all, if they haven't heavied you in a position that heavy is winning, you know that they don't have heavy, so you've already checked for heavy and you can add sets. And also, you have to look at your position after a heavy storm. So if you're up cards, they have to, let's say you're up like multiple cards and they heavy storm you +1, even after the heavy storm, you're still at an advantage. So it's not just, do I have I'm sorry, could they have heavy and could they plus off of it? It's what is their position after the heavy storm, which is something I don't think people think about enough. So I understand you setting 5 here. I do think it's extremely risky. You're also down a game, but you're undefeated in the tournament, so you're in a position. Oh, and he has duality, so now he gets 3 more chances for heavy storm, but he doesn't find it. But this Super Poly is very, very dangerous. I think the bottomless is bad against you, and the duality is probably not going to want to take. I think Super Poly, yeah, is very scary. This hero stun deck is not something we've seen played very much in this format, actually, to this point. It's mostly been Bubble Beat. So you have the warning. Are you going to warning a Stratos here? It feels horrible to warning the Stratos because they play so much recursion for it. They could have Call of the Haunted, stuff like that. But he duality this turn, fortunately. And you have an MST for a Call of the Haunted. So yeah, I get going for the warning there. I think that makes sense. Right? Because you have the MST.
Yeah, also it keeps Kagemusha alive.
Yes, exactly, because he's going to attack. Because the Stratos replaces itself, it's free to attack. He doesn't have to care about it. Oh, you end phase MST. Now, I would have been more hoping to MST a Call of the Haunted if he... Oh, you have another MST. Okay, that makes more sense. Oh, you double end phase MST. Okay. Now, why did you do this? Are you just hoping to get a draw and make an offensive push next turn? This seems kind of risky to go double MST on the end phase.
Yeah, if I now draw into another piece for Xian,
Yes.
which I did,
Yes.
I want to perform Synchro Summon into more open field.
Yes, that makes sense. He hit you with a think emoji. That's scary, because what are you thinking about? There's not much to think about, because he knows you're going for Xian. You missed the warning twice, dude? Oh my goodness, that sucks. Wow, that's so unfortunate that you missed warning twice. At least you have double edge, so you can push. But this does not allow a Naturia Beast.
Yeah, I have only Catastrophe play at this point, so I decided to keep double edge.
Man, this Xian is gone forever now. This Xian's not coming back. Oh, he sets, goes Super Poly. Now that's not actually that good.
Now I basically won.
Yeah, that's actually a really bad Super Poly. You didn't even need to bottomless that, because you could have just let him hit you for 22, and then on your turn you can double edged into Catastor and hold and kill it, and then you hold your bottomless for a Miracle Fusion top deck. I think you just wanted to end the game. Oh, and you draw into lethal anyways. Is this lethal if you don't?
Yeah,
oh, because you have a Grandmaster. Yeah. I do think that was a bad Super Poly, and the other thing is he pitched a Torrential off of it. That's a very low value Super Poly, so that was extremely hasty on his part. So your patience was rewarded there, and your deck rewarded you too. You ended up drawing into the cards you really needed. Both of those draw phases. You drew into a live Xian, and then you drew into a Kizan, which is great. But you're going second this game. He goes set 3. I think we saw last game he set 3 with no protection, but you had already set 5, so it's normal for him to do that. Double MST again. He has to Gem Spark. You love that. Now you don't have to play into a Gem Spark. That's excellent. So do you have any read on this last back row? He set it behind an alias with Gemspark and Bottomless. So I don't think that battle traps are going to be very good against you. So it's probably something like he probably doesn't set Call of the Haunted, so it could very well be a Psalm Warning. Do you have any read on
What I
it?
was thinking about was Hero Blast because
He put the alias? Yeah. Hero Blast would be very frustrating here as well.
That's why he used that Gemini Spark to make it alive, maybe. I don't know.
Now, I think that if he had Hero Blast, he wouldn't have taken that 18. He'd probably Hero Blast your Zanji.
Yeah.
You have the asceticism that you're holding. Oh, and you get the judgment down. So now you're thinking, I win next turn. If he doesn't have a big push right now, I win next turn, right?
Exactly.
And he has the Heavy Storm. Oh, man. And it was a skill drain. Man, I lose so many games to Heavy Storm as well. He has the Rhoda. Look at this. He had Heavy, Rhoda, Reborn. Oh my goodness. Into Excalibur. I bet he's going to have a Miracle too. Heavy, Rhoda, Reborn. And yep. Man, this hero deck can just be insane like that. Yeah. And you have an asceticism. There's really nothing to do here. I think that you're going to lose this.
I need to go into a catastrophe next turn, but
You have one card.
sadly
It's not going to be enough.
my own heavy.
That happens. But I mean, look what it took to beat you. Limited, and then it's Miracle Fusion. You know?
If only I had that Heavy Storm in my opening hand.
Yeah, that was too bad, but hey, it happens. I mean, that's something that you can lose those games now that you've already won the first 5 rounds. So you're 6-1. Oh no. Oh my goodness, this guy. You're up against Chainburn now, huh? Oh, but that's a great matchup for you.
Yeah. It's basically a free game for 6 Samurai.
Yeah, because you can just go into Naturia Beast. Yeah. So this is probably a really easy matchup. You win dice, so you're going to get a turn 1 Shien. Yep. You know he's not going to play. Oh, and you draw United. This is excellent. You have a Judgment down too, which can be a checkmate card against them, but you want to hold it. You don't want to burn a lot of life points early. Now, yeah, you go Shien. Oh, you can't even go Naturia Beast anyways. You have a heavy.
I could use that reinforcement of the army for Kizan.
Oh, you're thinking Naturia Barkion.
Yeah, Barkia.
Yeah, you could have gone.
Because the way they burn your life points is mostly through traps.
Yeah, so why didn't you go Barkion then?
In case he has something like a random Dark or something like that, and I actually...
You have a Judgment. I think that maybe...
Anointian is kind of comfort play, you know.
Yeah, I actually do think Barkion is better here into this deck. It plays so many traps. I mean, the other thing, though, is that Barkion can only negate however many cards you have in the graveyard, but I think you have MST, too. Yeah, so you have 2 MSTs. So yeah, Barkion is going to clear everything. I think Barkion's a little bit better here, but like you said, this is a very free matchup for you anyways. So that's 5.
Also with all the background removal I have, it's perfectly fine to go into Shien because I can reduce the number of traps and then deal with the most problematic one with Shien's negation.
And here's the double-edged. So the double-edged is going to get you to... Oh, it's not actually going to get you to too much. Now here you go Heavy Storm. So you said Heavy, and you said Judgment, and you said Magatama. So you might have overset, honestly, here. I think you probably didn't need to set all these if you're planning to Heavy Storm anyways. So you let both of these resolve because you know that you'll be able to stop his last card with Shien if you choose.
No, I negated Legacy.
Oh, you did? Okay. Because you're not scared of like a needle. Like there's no trap card that's going to hurt your Shien. The best he can do is... And you only have a couple cards, so even like a Just Desserts doesn't hurt very much. I think the best card he could have is like an Ojama Trio maybe, but it's semi-limited, so he only has one. Yeah, take the pluses. I get that. Card. Do you have... No. So he's going to get his +1. But he still has to deal with this Shien, so he's on a clock right now. and you're not putting a second monster on board, so he can't Lava Golem you. I don't know if they main deck the Lava Golem. He goes Swift Scarecrow. Nothing you can do there. Now you're probably going Naturia Barkion, huh? Yeah. Who cares? This game's over once you go for the Naturia Barkion. You tell him sorry, because you know that this one's over. Oh, you don't. Why are we not going Naturia Barkion here?
To be honest, I'm not sure. But it doesn't matter, he has Scarecrow. Yeah.
Oh, he had the Lava Golem anyways.
Yeah, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I just put it face down with...
Here's the gateway. Okay, here's the Naturia Barkion.
To be honest, I've been messing in this game a lot because I'm not used to play Chainburn. It's so easy matchup for 6 Samurai that I can make like 10 mistakes and still not get punished enough. So I had, for example, play around that Scarecrow. I could have simply
Book of Moon.
use Book of Moon on my monster and then continue attacking.
But I don't think you had lethal if you Book of Moon anyways, did you?
I would have if I summoned another Kizan.
Yeah, like you said, this is round 7, so you're almost guaranteed to top regardless. But also, this is so good. I mean, you're gonna Naturia Barkion and win. This matchup is so free, and you have a gateway. Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's some missequencing, but who cares? You have a gateway up with a Naturia Barkion. What could he possibly have? Yeah, this game's over. This guy, man, this guy frustrates me so much because I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but I will say that when you don't take anything from your losses, you wasted time. Like, if you can't watch your losses and understand, like, I made a mistake doing this or that, and you just blame it on luck or something, you'll never improve as a player, in my opinion. So I get very frustrated when people want to blame luck for all of their losses. It's very frustrating to me. Because you're just hurting yourself, really. So you have a Heavy Storm here, and you have Gateway again. You actually go neg on this Heavy Storm. You go -1 with this Heavy Storm.
I'm perfectly fine with it.
So
I can simply make Shockmaster and...
But Shockmaster's not that good against Chainburn because most of their traps are chainable. Oh, are you gonna be able to Shockmaster, call monsters, and go for game? I don't think you'll have enough. Will you?
Yeah.
You'll have enough cards? You'll have enough damage?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see. Because you can overlay, because this format, 6 Samurais get their rank 4. Well,
No, I didn't.
you could have special the Grandmaster, and then you would have gotten 4 tokens overlaid for the 6 Samurai thing, and then you would have gotten 6, search a Keyzon, right, and then you get 8. I think that's lethal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I could have go for game here.
Call monsters, and I think that's lethal, because then you get 8, so that means you get 2 more Keyzons, because each Keyzon only costs you 2 counters, because they summon and add 2 more. I think you had lethal there. But it doesn't matter. This matchup is going to be great. So you call monsters. What are you calling monsters for? For the for the Swift Scarecrow, of course. But he could have a trap to stop your attack.
But if it's something that need to be chained to my attack, I can have negation at that point because I will go for Barkion.
But you called monsters, so you can't use Barkion effect.
Yeah, that's okay. It's a chamber matchup. I won't give it much thought.
Yeah. Also, like you said, people don't play against Chainburn very much because most people don't play decks like this. So most people have very little experience against the deck. But right now, you called monsters, so your Barkion cannot negate whatever this last card is, but just for this one turn. But can he special summon I think he can still special summon Lava Golem because it's just an inherent special summon.
Yeah. No, I think it's effect, but I'm not sure. I would have to check.
Yeah. You called monster, so you cannot negate these with Barkion again. Does he have... Oh, you can't do this. That's funny. You can't do this because I think you called monster. Right? Or did you call something else?
I'm not sure.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, you called.
We could skip this.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, again, I'm not going to spend this whole video talking about this guy, Bandit Keith, but I will say, you get paired against him in top 8, and he does the most cowardly thing and refuses to play. I think that is extremely immature. And that's all I'll say. I don't want to make this video shitting on the guy, but that is super immature because he's playing a deck that no one wants to play against, and he refuses to play against your deck. That's ridiculous to me. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that, but just completely scooping when you bubble into top 8 is super lame. You took that top 8 spot from someone else just from the luck of tiebreakers, and you don't even play. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, me neither. Also, I missed my promotion to master rank on leaderboard.
Yeah.
Because this game wasn't played, and this one that we will see now, my top 4 game, wasn't counted as a rated game because of things that happened with
Gwari.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because of that Gwari situation. So, because of these 2 games, I'm still not on master rank on
wow.
leaderboard.
I see. Okay. Well, Jazz, if you're watching this video, because I know he watches, he's at least watched some of my wind-up videos. Jazz, if you're watching this video, you need to give Hanzo those 2 wins that he didn't get in top 8 and top 4. Top 8 is a free game, let's be real. It was against Library Enjoyer. And top 4 was an issue with Challenge, or maybe it was Retrobot, I don't remember. But Jazz, you got to give Hanzo his wins.
The top 8 game shouldn't count because no show doesn't count for ELO, but this game normally happens, so
no,
this one should be counted.
I reject that. There's no such thing as a no-show in top 8. Jazz, you got to give him both of these wins, top 8 and top 4. Get on it. Come on now. Who's ever no-showed top 8? That's ridiculous. This was a 70-man tournament, and he made top 8, and he scooped. That is ridiculous. Oh, look at this hand. Oh, and you win dice. Okay, so now we're in top 4. I have taken so much of your time, so thank you for sticking with us. We've done this all in one take. So we're in top 4. And I remember you and I were chatting throughout the whole tournament, and we were both getting more and more excited as you got further and further. And I don't know if you remember what I said about this top 4 match. I guess it would be a spoiler, but I'll just say it. I told you that your top 4 match was not that much closer than your top 8 match, which you didn't even play. Because this top 4 match, man. Yeah, right? If you remember correctly, you fucking dominate this top 4 match. So you open with Kagamusha Asceticism. So it looks like we have some lag issues, but yeah, you win dice, you open Kagamusha Asceticism. So this is a guaranteed Shien. You have a Rhoda, so you can put a Kizan next to it, but you know your opponent is on windups. So what are you thinking here? Because you could technically go Naturia Beast, but I don't think that that's better because then you have to play into his back row when you try to go Shien the next turn. I think we talked about this in a previous match, but I think Shien is better here.
A bit greedy. I could have simply go with cards I had. I could have gone for Enishi and Shien.
Did you have Oh yeah, you could have gone Enishi Shien. Yeah, and you didn't. Go ahead.
I decided not to because I was a bit greedy and I wanted to establish Shien plus Naturia Beast plus Enishi in the next turn.
Okay. Now so we know our opponent is on windups. So I will say that there are a lot of, he basically needs, so Tour Guide is a kind of an out to this, but we know that you have real back row. But Magician Shark, now if he goes Magician Shark, now he's playing into back row, so he's not going to go Magician Shark into a Shockmaster line, but if he has Magician Shark, he can go Magician Shark into a Maestro plus a Tiras, and you have the Compulse for the Mace Stroke, but you'd have to compulse before he XYZs if you want to stop him from going into a Tyrus, because Mace Stroke plus Tyrus can happen right here. But he needs Magician Shark, and he needs to play into these back row. Because if he had Magician Shark, you would go Magician, Special Summon Shark, trigger Magician. Now, would you have... you know what? You could compulse the Magician before the Shark hits the field, and then he's just left with a Shark on field, which is probably what you'd want to do there, right?
This is board that isn't unbreakable, but it's reasonably strong for.
Oh, it's very strong.
Me to feel confident about surviving this one turn and then establishing.
Yeah, and also windups play like about 16 monsters in the main deck, and it's a lot of spells and traps. So going second into this board is not very pleasant. He sets Magician. Let's just look at his hand. Oh, he has the Windup Soldier in his hand. This is not a commonly played card. He only has one trap. He opened Avarice, which is a great card in windups. And he opened double Windup Rat, which is another great card. But these cards require setup. And we've already established that this game is not going to last long when you go turn one Shien backed by real traps and double-edged. So this game's going to get wrapped up pretty quick. Oh, and you draw Reborn. This is just insult to injury at this point. Now you go Naturia Beast. And Nishi. Man. Now, do you have guaranteed game with the Reborn? Because
no.
you have 42, 60, 4. No, you don't have anything big enough. I was going to say, with Compulse down and Reborn, you almost have game, but no, there's no need. You know that. Oh, and you attack with the Anishi first. Now, did you do this thinking he said a Sangan?
I just wanted to be greedy. I didn't have any idea what could have been that card, but I hoped it will be something small enough to punch for more.
This is a concession. If he activates a duality in front of Naturia Beast and Shien with one back row, he has conceded the game. We know that this is over.
Yeah.
He's conceded. There's no scenario that helps. Once they start playing Naturia spells in front of your Naturia Beast, you know that the game is over. Okay, he gets to go first. Opens with Tour Guide, which is a great open for windups. This is your best turn one summon besides Magician Shark. And he goes into a Windup Rabbit. So this is great because if you can't clear this, because he has traps and they might be real, then you punish this because now his boat is gone. He needs an Avarice, which who knows if he's even playing Avarice against you. But at least the game can go on because you didn't draw a Rivalry. Okay, so you open with a Shien play. Oh, you have double Smoke Signal. This is so good. So what are you thinking here? You have to summon into these back row.
Yeah, I went for Elder plus Kizan because that way I can get my 2 counters and still keep my normal summon.
I see. Okay. So you grab the Elder. I see. So now you're giving yourself an opportunity to draw a Heavy Storm. Right?
Yeah.
Or at least an MST or something. So you get an asceticism. Okay. So no help there. And the other thing is when I have something like Solemn Judgment, I would prefer to wait a turn so that I can make my play backed by Solemn Judgment. But first of all, this is a 3 MST format, so you don't know if your Solemn Judgment's going to stick. Second of all, you can't just leave a Zenmaity up. You cannot give him a turn with a Zenmaity. You have to clear it.
Now I can bring Kagemusha and still have my normal summon.
So are you thinking I'm going to go Naturia Barkion and then normal summon the Kagemusha and make a Naturia Beast next to it?
Yeah, that's what happened if I remember.
So now he needs a Solemn Warning here, otherwise this Barkion is just cooking. So now you can normal summon and make a Naturia Beast and he's locked up. And it's backed by Solemn Judgment. And he already used his Tour Guide.
And I don't believe in Solan because if he had it, he would use it.
He should have negated with Barkion. Yep. So now you lock this up. But I will say, because he has a rescue rabbit, or I'm sorry, not a rescue, a wind-up rabbit, it actually does allow him to normal summon something like a wind-up magician and overlay into something like a Maystroke or something, or Utopia. Exactly. But you have the Solemn Judgment, so this game is locked up. We haven't seen this board from you yet this tournament, I believe, right? Yeah, this is over. Yeah, what can he do? Naturia Beast plus Nature. This shows that the Naturia Beast was better than Xian, especially next to a Barkion. This board feels so unbreakable. The only answer I can really think of is something like a Malefic Stardust or a Tour Guide into Leviathan or Golem, which is not even that good, honestly. But backed by Judgment, this is over. This was very good.
And he had Bottomless, so it's card that is so easy to play through with Samurai.
Yep, exactly. Okay, and we are in the finals up against an amazing player right here in Spore. Spore has a ton of accolades, and I believe he's coming off just winning one of these tournaments with a different deck with Heroes, I believe.
Yeah, I think he won the one before this one, actually.
Yes, he was trying to go back to back, and now we have our number one fan, Bandit Keith, in the match. And you lose dice. He opens trade in. And he has the that's fine to pitch. He likes this because he gets his graveyard started with some earths. He has the card trooper to get his grave more set up. Okay, so not that scary of a turn one, and oh my god. Double United, double-edged sword technique, compulse. Oh my god, dude, this is crazy open. But I will say, this deck main decks triple max C. So you do lose some of that plus.
Double track and Gors. So.
Yes. Okay, now the fact that you search Elder and he doesn't max C means he does not have it, in my opinion. Because this is his only opportunity to use it.
Yeah.
You drew double-edged. Interesting. Oh my god, and the Magatama. Look at this, dude. You have Compulse, Bottomless. You didn't put down a you did not put down a Kaigeki, so you cannot asceticism into your Inishi. Right?
Yeah, I think I saved asceticism for later.
Yeah, because you don't have a good asceticism target here. All you can do is get another Kagamusha. Oh, you went Naturia Beast. You went Naturia Beast. Is it because you're pretty confident that you're going to have a chance to go Xian with these two double-edged plus Compulse Bottomless? Yeah, I would say so.
Also, but the only trap that BAM usually plays is Reckless Greed, so there's no reason to go for Xian. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Oh, your number one fan joined the game, Chet Manley.
Actually, number two.
Number two. Oh, that's
this Italian Mata guy.
Yes.
Can be stripped of the role of my number one fan.
That's true. Mate has been messaging me very excited that we're doing this video, actually. He's been watching a lot of my videos, and he's a very, very nice guy. So you go Naturia Beast set 5. This is basically the best feeling in the world. I'll admit it. And he just goes set 1. So you expect that this is either a Reckless Greed or a Lie, because he has 6 cards in hand. Oh, he has a Max C. He must have just drawn this Max C. We can check. You drew Upstart Goblin. Oh, he drew Upstart Goblin for turn. That's interesting. I actually think he should have Max C'd on the when you had the Uniteds and searched Elder. I think that's a mistake on his part. Not to criticize Spore, just I do think that's a misplay.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, it's so funny that he drew Upstart, because Upstart, the only thing that Upstart does is make your deck a 39-card deck, except in this rare situation where Naturia Beast can be summoned, because most decks can't summon Naturia Beast. Then Upstart is just the worst card on the planet. It is just horrible. It's just a hard -1 dead card.
Yeah, now it doesn't make your deck smaller, it makes your hand smaller.
Yes, it's so bad. So now he max Cs, but I mean, it's a little late for that, I'm not going to lie. Like, he's going to get a +1 max C here, but you're about to put down a... Okay, so this is correct. He recklesses before you put the Xian down, that's correct. You have a compulse for the Gores, but this deck plays Gores and Trag, so you're in a tough position, I will say. Because you don't have the best answer to Gores. It's a compulse that you have. Yeah, you're in a little bit of a tough position. Now, you don't attack because you don't have a great answer to Gores. I understand that. Because if you attack here, let's say with a Naturia Beast, he'll drop the Gores right away because you're probably not attacking with the Xian. Or he could have a Trag, which is almost scarier, honestly. And you don't have too much. You just have a Compulse. So he's going to go into, Cannon. Now, when you use Special Summon a Cannon here, there's two things that I'm thinking. First thing is Hieratic Sun Dragon. Second thing is Grand Soil. That was his 5th machine, so you're probably thinking he has a Grand Soil. There's the Grand Soil. You have double Bottomless, I believe. So, are we thinking Bottomless is Grand Soil because it's bigger than my Xian? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it was possible, but I didn't know how many of extenders he actually have, so I've decided to not bottomless it because I can get rid of it next turn. So
with Compulse,
I let it on field.
So you bottomless the Tragodia. Now this is difficult because Grand Soil doesn't require special summoning an Earth monster, so he actually kept 5 Earths in grave on this play, making a second Grand Soil alive. But I will say, when you did not bottomless the Grand Soil, my thinking was that you did not have bottomless, but I understand you would need to double bottomless because Grand Soil and the Tragodia both threaten your Xian.
Yeah. Also, I was okay with one big monster being on field, so I was like, okay, this is the monster you will get, and every other you put on field, I will get rid of.
Okay, so he normal summons a Veiler. Now this is threatening a Gautam's, right? Gautam's just says Tuner plus Earth. Gautam's has the weirdest text, actually. So this is a Gautam's now. The weakness of the 6 Samurai deck, I've said this to you before, and I know that you don't completely agree with me, but I will say the times I struggle with 6 Samurai is when they have something bigger than Xian. I know you have answers, especially for extra deck stuff, but I do think that it's very forcing when they summon something bigger than the Xian. You have to play your trap cards against it.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and you let your Xian die because you have you have 2 double-edged, so you can keep your Xian alive. So you don't want to give him back this Grand Soil because you can go double-edged for a Catastor to clear it, and then double-edged for Xian plus another monster. But that's not going to... you can't keep the Xian alive. Oh, but you have asceticism. You have asceticism.
Yeah, I basically want to bring my Xian to the field because it then opens my Anti-Gore's ecstatic card, you will see.
Okay. He sets 1. But again, we know that this is probably a reckless greed. He also could have a Forbidden Chalice. I don't know if he plays it, but I very much like that card in BAM. Oh, I know what you're gonna do. Okay, I remember. Again, we've been talking for a while on Discord. I remember when I was talking to you when I was first building 6 Sams. I was like, actually, I won't spoil it. I'll let the video play out. I was asking specifically, do you really need to play this extra deck card? I don't want to buy another one. And you were like, yes, it comes up. And I was like, really? And then I think I messaged you the next day, and I was like, hey, my first game I played on 6 Sams, this came up, and I needed it. Right?
Yeah. I didn't play it in my first REDU tournament, and I was multiple times in a situation where it would be really helpful to have it. So,
do you have the warning? Oh, you don't have the warning. There it is. The Adrius. Adrius. This card straight up comes up. Like, it for sure comes up. You can overlay with Grandmaster, or you can do it with these synchros off of a double-edged play.
Technique. Yeah.
Oh my god, and he scoops. Wow, that is crazy. I didn't get to see the position that he was in, but he used so many cards, and you had a Magatama down but the Magatama was dead, wasn't it? Because you had Adrius plus Naturia Beast.
Yeah.
But you had Compulse as well.
I had all spells in hand, so...
Yeah. Man. I mean, he actually didn't need to scoop there because his token was bigger than your Naturia Beast, so he doesn't know if you can... his token might clear your Naturia Beast. We know that it doesn't, but he kind of scooped early there, no? He could have at least swung. Oh, and you have Gateway. I remember this game. He opens double trade in, so now he's 10 cards into the deck. Sets 1. Now, in my opinion, the scary thing here is a what is the card called? Spell Shattering Arrow. That's a very scary card here. But it's an MST. So he reveals it's an MST.
No, and he had Maxi, and I decided to go for it. Because in my very first REDU tournament, the Messenger of Peace monthly one that I've talked about already, I was in finals against Ben, against Jay. Actually.
Jay, right here. Yeah, Jay.
Yeah. And I had Gateway OTK in game 1, and I wanted to play it safe and decided to make Shockmaster before to lock him out of Tragodia or Gorse, and he veilered my Shockmaster, and I was scared and didn't go for game, and then I lost that game 1, and then when I watched the replay, he didn't have either Gorse or Tragodia, so now, remembering how I lost that game because of being super cautious, I've decided that now I have to go for it when there's possibility.
I mean, in this position, so that's different. You're in a game 1. I would say that I would play it differently in a game 1, but you're game 2 up a game, and you're just, for me, I'm thinking, fuck it. Like, here's your chance, have it or lose. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, let's win the game right now. You also have a Solemn Judgment. Solemn Judgment isn't going to stop a Gores, but you have a Solemn Judgment, and I'm feeling even more safe. Because if it's like a Trag or something just to live, then you're backed by Solemn Judgment. I don't know. I agree with your play to just say, fuck it, I want to win the duel right now. But I will say, you normal summoning Zanji and playing the Asceticism does play harder into Max C, because you could have normal summoned Zanji and special summon the Kizan, inherent special summon the Kizan, and he probably isn't playing around Kizan there and is probably holding the Max C, I would guess.
Yeah, that's true.
So he plays Max C, and then the coolest part about Asceticism is that it's a quick play spell, so you can chain this Asceticism before the Max C resolves. Yep, so you deny him 1 draw. So now he only gets 1 draw from the first Asceticism and 1 draw from this Kizan, and that's his last chance to draw Gores. Now you don't attack with your Zanji because you want the Zanji to clear a Gores, possibly.
Right.
But he doesn't have it. And that's the game. And I'm pretty sure I remember he leaves without drawing an extra card. I always draw just to see, because I'm always curious, like, could I have done something differently? Because in his case, actually he couldn't have done anything differently in his case. He didn't have any opportunity to do anything. This was just an OTK, honestly. And that is the end of the tournament. You only lost 1 match out of 9. Technically, should have been 10, but 9. And you had a really, in my opinion, dominant tournament run. You had a lot of 2-0s in here. You did not play a whole lot of game 3s, if I remember correctly. I don't think you played a game 3 in Top Cut at all, actually.
No, I won 3 matches in 4 games.
Yeah, because of the scoop. Yeah, that's very funny. So this was an extremely dominant run. I think that there's so much to learn as a Six Samurai player from your analysis here, because several times you put an Anishi down next to your Shien, which is a really strong position. And you had a lot of big double-edged plays. So I'll just pull up your deck and we can talk about your deck and your siding and things like that. Unless there's something you want to add at all about any of this top cut or any of the matches, the floor is yours if there's anything you want to add.
Yeah, we can go through the list.
Okay. Do you want me to do it or do you want to do it?
Yeah, you can start and I can comment on specific cards as we go.
Okay, so you have the Elder here because it's quick. It's like a Cyber Dragon except much weaker, and it's the other piece to your asceticism for your this is called Kagamusha.
Kagamusha.
Yep. So I think one of
yes, Elder. Many Six Samurai lists before that you can see on server were on 2 Elders. I like just one because once you have board, you can special summon it from hand, so he will kind of be that. And I actually don't want to see him in my hand usually. I want to bring him with asceticism or search for it with smoke signal.
Yeah, I don't agree with 2. I definitely think that you're correct on this one with 1. Playing 2 technically makes an asceticism live later, technically, but first of all, if you're going for an asceticism play with Kagamusha, you're probably trying to do it very early game. And second of all, when you play 2, it doubles your probability of drawing it. Literally doubles because you put a second one in your deck instead of 1. So this is similar to how I feel about like Vayu. I know you're not as much of an Edison player, but in Edison, I play a lot of Blackwings. I play a couple different decks, but Blackwing is where I got my big win. So people probably think of me as a Blackwing player. So I don't play 2 Vayu because if I play 2, it doubles the probability of me drawing it. So I don't see the value in it.
I'm also a believer in just 1 value in pure Blackwings.
Yes, yep, I'm the same way. I think that it's about 50-50 split. A lot of people like 2 value, but there's not a Blackwing video, so I won't spend too much time, but I agree with the 1 Elder. 1 Grandmaster is great because you can't put a second Grandmaster down, right? It says you can only control 1.
And you already need a monster to summon it.
Yep.
I would play none if Gateway was already banned, but
yeah, it's great next to Gateway.
It's needed for spamming. In later formats without Gateway, I actually play non-Grandmaster.
Now you have the Anishi. So Anishi is an amazing card, but you have to normal summon it or summon it off asceticism. So I understand playing just the 1. It's also not a piece to your Xian. You just want 1 as an end board, and you can always recur it with the double edge. So I agree with this as well.
Yeah, and you have limited pool of monsters you can banish with
yes.
Anishi, so even if you could establish 2, you would have a hard time feed them with material.
That's true. Usually the limiting factor on your Anishi effect is your graveyard being able to banish, because look at this. This is 12 monsters,
Yeah.
2 Kaigeki. So this is probably so that you have a higher probability of getting a Kaigeki into Kagamusha Xian play.
Yeah, in the first turn, there's hierarchy of Xian materials. If you go first, your Kagemusha can be converted into Xian with your Rota, your smoke signals, your asceticisms, and with Kagekis. That's 8 cards. And there are 8 possible cards that can make Xian with Kagemusha. That's why Kagemusha is the superior piece. Then, as for Kageki in first turn can be turned into Xian with Searchers and Kagemushas. That's 6 pieces. And Elder, when going first, can be turned into Xian basically only with asceticism.
With asceticism, or if you're... Oh, you said going first. Because if you're going second, you can also do it with the 3 Searchers plus the 3 Kagamusha, but you're playing into back row and you're going second, so that's different. Okay, that makes sense. Triple Kizan, no questions here. This is an extremely powerful card. It's your favorite target for Rhoda. Zanji, I understand this one also. This is a good answer, but it's also an asceticism piece next to your Kizan. 3.
Yeah, basically Zanji allows for maxing on asceticisms because it's a really strong partnership with Kizan.
3 asceticism because this is another piece to your 2-card Xian, turn 1. I love Book of Moon. I think Book of Moon is excellent. I don't think it's played enough in this format, and it's extremely versatile. So I understand the Book of Moon here.
Yeah, argument can be made for third compose over Book of Moon. but actually, even though I think Compose is better in this format than Book of Moon, the first Book of Moon is definitely better than third Compose.
I agree with that. And another thing that I'll say about, I've already taken so much of your time, so I swear I'm not trying to take too much more time. But the other thing that I will say about a third Compulse here is, if I were going to add a trap to this deck, and this is me being ignorant, having very little experience on Six Samurai, it would not be a third Compulse. If I were going to add a trap to this deck, I would be thinking about Fiendish Chain and D-Prison. D-Prison is good protection for your Xian, and Fiendish Chain is one of the strongest cards in the trap cards in the format, and being able to trap a monster there, stop an attack, and allow myself to gather resources, maybe make a Catastro or something, or Inishi back a monster that's going to kill my Xian, I find that more valuable than a third Compulse. And the last thing I'll say is, Compulse is bad against what I consider a bad Samurai matchup. So if I'm adding cards, I want them to help my tough matchups. Compulse is bad against Chaos Dragons. I would rather play a card like Dimensional Prison against Chaos Dragons, which is not that great either, but at least it clears like a Pulsar or a Red MD.
Yeah, I agree with the first part. I really like Fiendish Chain, and if there wasn't... if Priority was still part of the format, if it wasn't gone, because REDU is, if I'm not mistaken, the first format without Prio.
I believe so.
I would definitely be on Fiendish Chain.
Yeah. But I do like the Book of Moon. And you decided to play Gateway. Interesting choice there. I guess we can just skip that one. Heavy Storm. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I think we can skip over the staples.
Okay. Yeah. Heavy
Reborn
Reborn
can be made for third MST. That's personal preference. I decided for going second together with one Night Beam, so I have more spell or type removal than going through back row.
Going back to your bad matchups, I understand you playing two MST in the main because, again, it's a dead card against Chaos Dragons, which I think looks like a difficult matchup. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like a tough matchup to me. Game one, at least. All these Searchers are incredible cards. Nothing to think about here. United is one of your only ways to go plus in this deck. The only cards that you have that are hard plus ones are United, Gateway, technically double-edged, but not really.
Yeah.
And what did you say? Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the bludges, yeah.
Yes.
They are kind of plus cards, but you basically, what you summon with them usually convert into extra monster, so you are getting one monster from it.
Yes, so it goes back to a 1-for-1. That's why I said it's kind of a +1, but kind of not. So, yeah, these are your +1s. Very few pluses in this deck. Upstart is for consistency, of course. Bottomless is a card that I think people are starting to... When people are cutting traps in their deck, I think the card that they look at is Bottomless. I don't really agree. There are matchups that I think Bottomless is bad. Like, I don't think it's that great against Geargia unless you're able to hit an Arsenal. Because when they go into their Gear Gigant X, generally they're doing it with a Geargiano in the graveyard, and then the Geargiano goes into the accelerator. So you don't go plus with your Bottomless. And like you said, priority is gone, so it makes cards like Bottomless much better. So I wouldn't cut Bottomless in this deck.
Yeah, Bottomless is stupidly strong without Prior. There's good reason why both Bottomless and Compulsory very soon after REDU got limited. Like, I don't know, like half year after REDU or something like that, they both got limited. So
yeah,
good reason for it.
Compulse is extremely strong. Compulse also, because you know probably that I play a lot of windups in this format, Compulse is incredible against windups. Like, so it's very hard to play through as a windup player. Not an easy card to play around. Double-edged, this is excellent. This is, and again, on the topic of double-edged, so another issue that I've told you about when I'm playing Six Samurais, and I think that you probably... I mean, I can be honest, I think some of it is because of my lack of experience on the deck, but with Six Samurais, I feel like if you get your board cleared, or even just your Xian cleared, it's very hard to rebuild, and Double-Edged is one of the best cards to rebuild, in my opinion.
Yeah, argument can be even made for playing full set.
Mm-hmm. That would be a lot.
Yeah, and I would play full set if this wasn't heavy format. In format with heavy storm, it's kind of iffy because you need to set it and then wait enter turn for using it. But argument can be made for third one, definitely.
Now, another card that does something similar, there are two. Call of the Haunted, which I think I've only seen a few Six Samurai players play it. I understand why Double Edged is better. It gets you two. You know what I mean? It's you don't want to play for like I feel like if you're playing Call of the Haunted, you're thinking, okay, this will get me back my Xian if it gets cleared, but I don't want to play planning for my Xian to get cleared. I want to play my plan A. You know what I mean? My primary strategy, which is to have a Xian when I'm winning the game. But the other card you could play is man, what is that card called? Backs Against the Wall. Yes, Backs Against the Wall. So how do you feel about Call of the Haunted and Backs Against the Wall? Are those cards you considered here?
I don't like Call of the Haunted. I wouldn't play Call of the Haunted. But Backs to the Wall is something I would consider. But the card is a bit gimmicky. It's super high ceiling. But it's not as easy to get into the right position when you want to use it. Also, I would first definitely max on Double Edge before including Backs to the Wall. But if Samurai were a bit worse positioned in the format, I would be more open to consider it because that card can swing game basically. But I don't think that right now Samurai are that bad positioned in the format that they would need to include this gimmicky stuff.
Okay, that's interesting. So I was talking to ProStorm about this, and he was telling me that every time he's resolved Backs to the Wall, he's won the game. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And I tried it at locals, and I played a match where I resolved Backs to the Wall twice in the match, and I lost both of those games. So it's very difficult because if you don't kill, you will die if you get attacked, period. So it puts you in a tough position. I understand the value, but it is very, very high roll of a card. So maybe I need more practice on it. But I do think Double Edged is going to be a consistently good option. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but Double Edged definitely, I see the value of Double Edged.
Yeah, this is the REDU video, so I don't want to talk about other formats that much. But I play Backs to the Wall in Firewater format, Six Samurai, and I once summoned for 895 points. I paid 89 and summoned just one Zanji with it.
Why?
At that point, it was part of the winning game. I needed one more Axis material to go for game, but it was funny that I paid basically all the life points that I had from the start and plus one upstart that one opponent gave me just to summon one to go for game. So
yeah, that's crazy. It made me play weird also. Like, normally you don't want to take hits too much, but I had a Backs to the Wall in the match that I played, and I was like, well, I'm going to take these hits because I'm going to pay all of my life anyways. It's a very different card. Okay, we talked about this Magatama. I love this card in this deck. I do think you should play it. I do think it's very powerful. It's also a counter trap. Also, I didn't see this come up, but Magatama can negate a Solemn Warning if you have a Six Samurai on the field already before that Synchro Summon. Like you can't protect a Xian that hasn't come out yet unless you already have a Six Samurai on the field. But it's very, very cool.
You can do stuff like special summon your Elder, then special summon either Grandmaster or Kizan. Then Kizan or Grandmaster will be on field to keep your Magatama active. Then bring your Tuner, go for Synchro into Xian, and then you have your Magatama to protect your Xian against Solan.
Yes, very, very cool play. We didn't see it happen, but I could definitely see that coming up. These cards we don't need to talk about. You absolutely play these cards.
All the traps I never side out.
Yeah, you absolutely play these cards. These are the strongest traps in the format. I'm a huge Solemn Judgment enjoyer. So your side deck, this is your wind-up hate right here. The rivalries.
Don't need to talk about rivalry. It's crazy card in wind-up matchup. Mirror Forces we tackled already quite a lot during our replay analysis, so we can skip that.
Macrocosmos is very strong.
Diffuser ratio. I was originally playing triple DeFi because DeFi has some clear advantages over macro. I can use it on my turn one, so I can then use my Xian play without being interrupted by Veiler or Maxi and stuff like that. So that's a clear advantage of DeFi. Also, under DeFi, I can send to graveyard my Six Samurai United.
Yes, yes.
Blocks Six Samurai United.
Yes, that's a good point. So I was actually going to say, with windups windups haven't won anything, but they're a very scary deck that people side a lot of cards for because they have a lot of respect for windups. People side Spell Shattering Arrows, and Spell Shattering Arrows are really good against you with these Uniteds, your Gateway, and the DeFis in the side. But I do see the advantage of DeFi because of this card, United. Do you ever side United out? No, right?
Never.
Yeah, it's your +1. It's your only +1.
Yeah, I don't touch my engine, never. I don't even side upstarts out.
I agree with that also. People that have a little bit less experience side decking will gravitate towards siding out upstarts because they don't know what to side out, but I would not start... Because it's the same thing going back to Edison format. When I'm playing Blackwings, if I'm playing Draw Traps, those are not cards that I look to side out. Those cards add consistency, and those are going to increase the probability of me seeing my side decked cards, so they're even better post side.
Yeah, I even shared on REDU server all cards that have possible side outs.
Oh, you did? Yes.
Traps, except of Solans, MSDs, Heavy, and Book. These are cards I am going to side out.
Zanji is a possible... Zanji is a possible side out as well, right? If it doesn't...
No, I keep Zanji.
You keep Zanji? Oh, you know what I'm thinking of is Iroh. If you were main decking Iroh, it could be sided if it's not against, like, Geargia, for example.
Even when bringing in Iroh, I still keep everything else as it is. Monster lineup, I'm not touching. Okay.
Now, Light Imprisoning Mirror. This is a very interesting choice. What is this for? Is this for agents?
Yeah, this deck has actually quite bad agents matchup, especially against like Tengu style Chaos agents. Trooper agents is a bit better, but that Tengu style agents is such a bad matchup. And also against Chaos Dragons, I often found out that I struggle with their Light Sworn engine that can get rid easily of my other floodgates, like Lila popping my Necro Volley on or macro. So this way I can completely turn that light part off and protect this way my other floodgates.
It's very good. It's just a card like this, I don't typically see it sided at one copy. But I know that you probably don't have room for others.
Yeah, and also it has diminishing returns. Every other copy does less than the first one, so...
That's true. And they might be siding Royal Decree against you as well, but I will say that siding one, you have a low probability of drawing that one card, which is okay, because you have other powerful sides against them.
I have so many floodgates and...
DeFi and Necro Valley.
I don't want to have just Light Imprisoning Mirror when playing against Chaos Dragons, so it's like the floodgate that I want to have next to other floodgates.
Yes, because their Lila can't, and their Lila and their Raikos can't clear it. So I do definitely see the value. It is. I think it's very good. I wonder if, yeah, actually, maybe, you know what? I should just trust you on this one because I'm sure you've tested multiple Light Imprisoning Mirrors and you prefer to have it next to something else. So I get it. Third MST, of course. Night Beam. I'm guessing this is just a going second card into back row decks. I think it's excellent. It comes ulti in Galactic Overload, just saying. Very cool ulti. Necro Valley, incredible. MST, of course, you want the third MST. Dimensional Fissures, we've talked about. Iroh, I'm guessing this is to clear things like Geargi Armor and Raiko.
Yeah. again, many lists I've seen mained it. I did also main it in my first REDU tournament. The guy that actually won YCS during the REDU format also made it IO, but I found out that I'm siding it out most of the game, so I decided to simply just leave it inside.
I could see this as a main decked card just because of how prominent Geargias are, but if you have the room in the side, then I don't think that you need to pre Geargias because it's not like you're going to be playing 50% Geargias. Like even if it's a very popular deck, it's still going to be like 20% of the room at most. You know.
Yeah. Also, Geargia isn't one of bad matchups, so.
Yep, because you have access to Xian and Barkion, which makes it much better. And then the last two cards are Cyber Dragon.
Cyber Dragons. I really love Cyber Dragon. It makes going second against many decks so much easier. I don't play Soul Takers because the only card I usually want to use Soul Taker on is Thunder King Cryo. And this is definitely better out to Thunder King Cryo than Soul Taker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's no counterplay to the... I guess just a bottomless or something, but probably this is a quick answer. I do the same thing in decks that I think have a hard time with Thunder King. I love Cyber Dragon as a quick out to it. This also is a good side deck option against Geargia as well to clear their Gear Gigant.
It's good against Geargia. It's good against BAM.
Oh, it's great against BAM. It's a great answer to Fortress.
It's fine against Hero because it's bigger than every of their normal summons.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great card. For sure, it's a great card. And you have the Chimera Tech in the extra deck. I think you summoned most of your extra deck. You didn't summon a Gaia Knight.
Some of them replace. When they had Thunder King, I bring this because if they went their big board, I can at least contact fuse with their rank 3 carrier, is it?
Oh, the windups, yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I often cite Cyber Dragons in when going second against windups also.
Because their big board ends with Photon Papilloperative, Zen Mighty, Shockmaster, and then a Rabbit coming back. Yeah. So this at least clears, even if they have back row to stop like a play that you make, then they're just sitting on a Shockmaster plus Photon Papilloperative, which isn't doing too much. So you do have a chance to play back, especially if you have things like Compulse or Rivalry is just going to be excellent.
Yeah. I don't cite Cyber Dragon against Windup if I'm sure they are not on Thunder Kings inside. But if I've seen them having Thunder Kings, and I think nowadays less Windup lists are including Thunder Kings, but it was very common when I started playing the format that Windups often even main it Thunder King. So.
Yep, I have not seen very much Thunder King on Windup lists. I like Thunder King, but it doesn't really play into your main strategy.
Yeah, I agree.
So we have Mistworm we didn't see come out, but of course you need Mistworm. It's something you don't want to go without if you do need to play that.
Yeah, it's your big play using Mistworm, getting rid of their entire board.
To go for a
Certainly
kill.
There's no Trishula. This is the next best thing to Trishula.
Yep. We didn't see the Landois come out, but look at all the spells you play. Landois is an incredible card. Like I said, I play a lot of Karakuri, so Landois, people don't know how to play around it because they're not used to seeing it. Landois is very good.
Yeah, it's also needed for playing around Gors or Trak.
Yes.
Because this deck loses to both Tragoria and Gors, so it's nice to have fun.
And you have the fuel in your deck. Look at all these spells. Yeah. Adrius, incredible. We saw why you play it. Excalibur, of course you need it. It's a great answer to big monsters. Maestro.
Yeah, actually, funny thing about Excalibur, I think that the most important part of his effect in this deck is that he detaches both of his materials.
So that you can have your Inishi live immediately?
Yeah, and double edges live also.
Yeah, that is very relevant. Yeah, actually there's...
Maestroke is basically the weakest link of this extra deck. I don't usually go into Maestroke. would be willing to cut it, but there's nothing I feel like I need necessarily more than my stroke, so I keep my stroke here. But I don't remember when was the last time I needed to summon my stroke.
I understand Maestro. It would make more sense if you played something like a Mind Control, which you don't. But yeah, you're right. I couldn't see too many examples, so I don't know how often it comes up. I mean, would you ever consider playing a like a Black Rose or like a level 8 Synchro? Do those come up very much? Because you can go Grandmaster Kagamusha into a Black Rose.
Yeah, the thing with Black House, I feel like I'm never summoning it even in Synchro formats with Six Samurai, because I would need to go second and do it in my first turn, because if I go Black Rose later in game, I'm basically sealing my losing position.
Yep. It's the same reason that we don't see a Dark Hole anywhere in here.
And if I need to go into Black Rose going second, it's because they have something I want to get rid of. That's usually something that can also stop my Black Rose play.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's true. So you're probably not resolving it. This card, both of these cards are extremely important for Gateway turns to make Gateway extremely broken. He also has a very cool interaction with Kageki. Your what is his name? Shadow. Yeah, he has a very cool interaction. He has it's a quick effect, isn't it? Yeah, during either player's turn.
It's quick effect.
And then Shockmaster, you have to play it in this deck because of Gateway. You can make very powerful Gateway turns with it. Because you can just beat certain decks, like Chaos Dragons. Same thing with the Roach. Now, Roach is a card I always struggle with because I feel like it's never good because people just clear it with Card Trooper and things like that. But I understand why you need to play it to try to get the instant win against something like Chaos Dragons.
Yeah, also it's one of the cards that can help you establish stronger board. With Six Samurai you are building board, and this is like with the limited card pool we have one of the not that many available ones that can make your board more able to interact with your opponent's play.
And the last card being Zen Mains. If you're only going to play one rank 3, which I understand you could technically do it with a Kaigeki, I understand it being Zen Mains. I will say that if you're overlaying into Zen Mains in this deck, you're probably losing, but I understand playing it.
Yeah, I can imagine it not being closing play. Like, I've established my board, my opponent established his board, and then I'm going for Zen Mains to tackle his board.
It's only with a double Kaigeki, though. Like, it's
Kaigeki plus Elder.
Oh, true. You have an Elder. I don't think it's going to come up much, but like I said, if you're playing the rank 3, you want the Zen Mains. The only other card that could compete with it is a Temtempo.
I don't like Temtempo.
Oh, Temtempo is so good, dude. I'm a huge fan of Temtempo. Maybe not in this deck, but I think Temtempo is so good.
If I was about to include another rank 3, it would be Acid Golem.
Okay, Acid Golem makes sense too, especially because of what we talked about, where you want to clear something bigger than your Shien.
Yeah, it's also basically win condition under skill drain.
True, that is true. Yeah, we haven't seen too many skill drain decks, but these last couple extra deck cards are not going to come up much. I'd say the last cards are probably Zen Mains and Maystroke, if you wanted to cut something.
Yeah, maybe Gaia. But I like Gaia. It's level 6 that is accessible under Rivalry, and also if my opponent bring Ghost and Match against me, I can make it also under Ghost and Match.
It's also it's also kind of like a bait if your opponent has something like a Ryo on the other side of the field to force a negate, just to put something big on the field that they're forced to stop. So I kind of understand having a level 6 you want to be able to just throw out.
Yeah. And it gets over Shien and Stardust, which is relevant.
Yep. It being 26 is definitely relevant, and we don't have Goyo anymore, so this is the best we got, which I'm fine with. But cool. Thank you for going through this. I know I took a ton of your time, and we did this all in one take, so it was really, really fast. So if you have anything you want to add, this video is probably already really long.
One special thing that we talked about before.
Say that again, sorry.
we have giveaway to announce.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we do have a giveaway. So, do you want me to say it? Our idea.
Yeah. If this video get like 30 likes, it's 30 like reasonable number.
I think that would be quite a bit for me, but we can throw whatever number out there. I don't know how many. I haven't really kept up with my stats. I mostly post these videos for fun. I think the most likes I've gotten is maybe like 20 or so.
Okay, so let's get over 20 and we will give away one Platinum Secret Rare Shine that is signed by me. And if we get over 30, I will give away a second one. To take part in this giveaway, all you need to do is to like this video and leave a comment.
Okay, and then we'll just pick somebody who likes and leaves a comment. I don't care what your comment is. It can be whatever you want. Maybe. Go ahead. Sorry.
Random.
Yeah, and we'll pick it randomly. So thank you for offering that. By the way, this was Hanzo's idea, and I really appreciate it. Because of course, it's very fun to grow on YouTube. But yeah, if you guys comment, then you'll be entered in this opportunity to get a signed Shien from the 6sam goat Hanzo.
Yeah, the legend says that my Shien has enough battle experience that he can even negate counter traps. So it's Shien you definitely want.
Yep, and that's actually true. That's 100% true. So if you put your signed Shien on the board and somebody says you can't negate a solemn warning, just refer back to this video.
Exactly.
So thank you for doing this video. Seriously, I really appreciate your time. I'm really looking forward to hearing people's feedback. When I posted some other replay reviews, a lot of people had feedback on different sequences that I could have gone through and different things I wasn't sure about. So this is my favorite part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like learning and discussing certain scenarios with people. So everyone feel free to comment any scenarios that you think that we missed, because now there's two of us that might have missed it. Or any differences of opinion in terms of deck building, siding, strategy with 6SAMs and REDU format in general. So thanks again for doing this video with me, Hanzo, and thanks for anybody that's watching this. All right.